Hey y'all, this is the part where you get your grandma's King James version of the Bible out and open it up to Revelations chapter 12, verse 7, right? And it reads, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels, right? Then it goes on, verse 8. It says, and prevail not, neither was a place found anymore in heaven. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an epic journey into the mind and soul of a true Nubian leader. I'm talking about none other than the multi-platinum artist, teacher, and trendsetter, Faise One. Now, Faise One isn't just any artist. He's the genius behind hits like F Black History, Q, Raise Your Frequency, and the phenomenal platinum hit Source. But that's not all. Faise One is also an independent artist who runs his own record label, Pharaoh Clan Records. With albums like The Ninth Hour, the Michael album, and Ascend City, Faise One is reshaping the music industry. But his artistry doesn't stop there. He's also authored over 11 books, sharing profound wisdom and insights with the world. And guess what? Faise One is joining us on the Young Elder TV show. A student of Dr. Malachi Z. York EL, Faise One will be cracking heads and twisting caps as he dives into the master code. Who knows the secret? Faise One does. With over 314,000 Instagram followers, Faise One is a force to be reckoned with in the conscious community. They call him the Mayweather of the conscious movement, and he's been training for this since a baby. Want to support this incredible artist and leader? You can donate any amount to his Cash App at $Play for Change. Help him continue his mission to uplift children and change the world. Don't forget to subscribe to both of his YouTube channels and follow him on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Together we can win the war against the dragon, the devil. We come in the name of the source. So without further ado, I present to you Mr. I Hope You Don't Worry About Tomorrow, Faise One. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. For donations to Brother Faise One, cash app him at $Play for Change. Stay tuned and stay conscious, y'all.
Hey y'all, we live, we lit. Another one. We back at you, the Malachites. We got Faise One backstage, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hold on, somebody, we gotta turn it up. Okay. Yes, I hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Rob by Rashard to all the family. We're about to get this cracking. And as you know, we got a couple of minutes left on the clock. And so this is an all-out, full-out battle for the last minute to break free from the devil's mental strains and holds. We are fighting against principalities here. We are fighting against unseen forces that's out to stop us from getting the hell out of here. And they're using fear and desire to keep us here. But get ready to bring Faise on. We got some interesting questions for Faise tied around this whole Luciferian agenda to stop us, to turn it. They, they always trying to get us to do bad, and they come after us while we kids. They want to get us to smoke, do drugs while we a kid. They want us to get us to be a bank robber while we a kid. They want us to get us to be a drug dealer while we a kid, because they know if they get us while we a kid, then they got us. If we don't make some kind of hit some kind of paradigm where we say, all right, this ain't working. This ain't gonna work for me. Because it's a difference. It's a difference between God's seed and the devil's seed. I can't wait till Faise get on. I got a whole bunch of questions. Faise, good ones that I know he gonna be able to build on. But God seed, when they do something wrong, they know in their heart, they can feel in their heart that that's not right. And you feel a certain type of energy, you feel wrong about it. The devil seed, he ain't gonna feel no wrong about it. He gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Why? Because we told you in the beginning of the text that the devil continuously do evil. That's how you can spot these beings. These beings, they ain't gonna be they ain't the being that come back and say, you know what, that was wrong. I'm gonna go and make that right, and then I ain't gonna do that no more. They the being saying, oh, let me go back and do it again, right? That's the devil's seed. So And then so it ain't gonna be you ain't gonna be able to make the devil seed stop being the devil. See, you ain't gonna be able to convince them to do right because they from the jump, like they devil, like they dad, they from the jump, they father, like we told you, John 8:44, you are of your father, the devil, right? So they ain't gonna never change, and we tried converting them. Mikael tried converting Halar, and that didn't go as planned. We had him going. He was a brilliant being, and then he returned. So it's like this, man. You can have the devil on the ground, and you know how you got them guys on the ground, and I'm gonna let him live because I'm gonna give him some mercy because we spirits of mercy. That's how we in this predicament that we in now, as far as everybody taking advantage of us, because we are the mercy beings. We the beings that got mercy. And we always give people second chances and third chances and fourth chances. That's the type of spirits we are. And I think that may be part of the reason why we came here, to learn the other nature. Some benevolent beings came here too, so they can learn, hey, not to get taken advantage of. So you can learn to say no. I mean, I can't wait to Faise come on, bro. Let me make sure I got Faise the right thing, because I think I sent him the right one, man, for sure. But some beings, like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to convince the devil to be the devil. He already the devil. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you going off to think you can be a devil seed, then you gonna learn quickly. Because if you a sheep and you get caught outside the fence, and we can get to the real breakdown of the sheep, but if you're a sheep and you caught outside the fence, you could be the devil will take complete advantage of you while he got a chance. And that's if you're a God seed, right? You got this protection around you, and we can get to the more advanced science of the inlet and get all that. I'm talking about the spiritual warfare, because that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the interdimensional entities that may be, because some people see stuff out of the corner of their eye, moving, and they're like, there was some kind of dark shadow just moved out of the corner of my eye. So I got like a lot of questions for Faise. Let me make sure I sent Faise the right joint, man. Cause I know them. I know since we promoted this, the witches and warlocks, right? They was already running their spells to try to stop us from doing this. But see, they don't got. There go Faise right there. Thank you, Most High. There go Faise right there. All right, Faise. Yeah, man, Faise. Glad you came. Hey, look, I'm glad you came in with it, because I got a chance to warm up the stage, and I got a chance to brainstorm too before a couple more questions that I could ask you going into this warfare between the dark. Now, the first question we got for you, because we can get started. The first question we got for you, we can get it cracking, man, because this is gonna be a good one.
Okay.
Hey,
real
let me
quick before we start, I want to know how's my sound. Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead. Say it again.
How's my sound? Can you hear me?
Turn it up. Can you turn it up just a tad? Just a tad. Like it's good, but just a tad, it'll be perfect.
Hold on, I'm trying to do that now.
Okay. Hey, right about family, if you coming in, hit that like. This one about to be a good one, because we got a lot of prayer warriors in here. We got a lot of spiritual guys. Go ahead, say it again.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay,
that's perfect.
Cool.
Like, it's a tad bit, but it's perfect. That'll work perfect though.
Now let me know that I don't want it to be low.
If you turn it up just a little more, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, but that joint busting though. It's crispy though.
That means it ain't coming through. Hold on.
That more crispy. Hey y'all, we hit that like, man. Come on in.
Y'all hear it, baby?
Yeah, that's perfect. Say it again. Say that again.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, that's right. That's just right. Let's do it.
Cool. Let me know now, because I want it to be clear.
Yeah, that's great. Let's be clear, because I got some good ones, man. It's probably already gonna tie in what you gonna build on anyway. You know what I'm saying? The questions that I got is gonna lead into what you probably was already gonna build on. Now, seeing that we fighting a war against these dark angels and these dark beings,
Right.
Now, could you go back and some of these questions might sound like, like, damn, he asked me that, but cause I know what level you on. But I'm asking this for like really the newcomers, like the new people. Maybe it's like people that's 15, 16 that's listening, and they might, still fresh in the game. So some of the first couple questions gonna be kind of like tied into if they were listening. You know what I'm saying, to us talk, right? So the first question is, what is the devil, man? Because what is these dark beings? Are these angels? What's the difference between a demon and an angel? You know what I'm saying? So what are we fighting against? This dark energy, or this dark web, or this whatever it is. Like some people call it the devil, some people call it demons. What is this energy, these principalities? What is this that we're fighting against? If you're on the side of righteousness and good, go ahead.
Okay, and y'all can see and hear me, right? Everybody good?
Yep.
All right, okay. So firstly, when you're talking about demons as opposed to angels, it depends on the situation or the scenario, right? Because you have a demonic being, and they're only demonic to someone who may be doing a good work or a virtuous work. You understand? They're not necessarily an inherently demonic being, or they could be a daemon as in a guide or a spirit guide, as some people call them. It just depends on the situation or the scenario in which you're speaking about. Angel doesn't mean good, right? The angel just gives you angelos, which means a messenger, and you can have a good messenger or you can have a bad messenger. That's what a lot of people are dealing with. This is the dilemma, all right? It's not our dilemma, but it's their dilemma with the whole Rashard Jamal thing, which we'll get into in a second. I want to make sure that's cleared up, all right, before we leave here today. And why it happened, I'll tell people why it happened and why we're moving on from it, okay? Just so if anybody wants to stay back there, they can, but there's a purpose for it. But there are two different types of crossroads that people are having to deal with, and one of those crossroads is the desert. All right. So a lot of people getting stuck there and they can't go to the mountaintop. All right. And it happens multiple times, different ways in life, period, where people will get hit with a message that they think is true and they may want to believe it. And then somebody comes around and say, okay, here goes the truth or the true light. And a lot of people are given the opportunity at that point of whether or not they're going to keep listening to the messenger that brought them the false light or the fake light or the messenger that brought them the truth or the true light. You understand? And then you'll be able to see what you can do with it. So the point is, angel is just a messenger. It never meant that it was good, never meant that it was bad. Even when you go to the book of Revelation chapter 12, all right, which you even seen Rashard Jamal quote that when he was trying to come at Phase One. He said, oh, Phase One and his angels, like I told you last time, war with Rashard and his angels, which he was basically citing Revelation chapter 12, saying that Michael and his angels fought with the dragon. I'll show you how. And his angels, meaning the deceivers and their messengers. Because if you're bringing me something that isn't true, then you're a deceiver, meaning you're an angel that's bringing a deceitful message. You understand? So that's a messenger that brings lies. All right. And if you're deceiving the whole world and you go to war with people who are like God, and that God wouldn't be the dog, and we'll get to that soon. Right. It means the God, as in the GUIDE, that guided people to the mountaintop so that they could do what Dr. Martin Luther King spoke about. As an MLK or a Melech, a ruler, he was able to see or behold or peek the promised land and see the truth. You understand? And that promised land goes into two different valleys also, or two different pathways also, right? Because you got the promises that God gave, and then you got the promises that the devil gave. Or you got the promises that the good ones made for you, and you got the promises that the bad ones made for you. And they did their best to set up experiments or rise up experiments where they would be able to lead you into making the proper decisions so that you can access the true promises that will be granted, as opposed to being led straight to the pomegranate and thinking that this pomegranate or this fruit that you're going to be tapping into would be the actual promise granted. This is why it was said that in El-Quran chapter 14 or Surah 14:22, that the demon or Iblis or whoever people want to refer to him as will say, yo, when he was asked, yo, you made these people do this, you made people do that. I didn't make people do anything. You can't claim that I made you do this. I made you a promise, keyword. I made you a promise and you believed me. And Allah made you a promise, or the true light made you a promise also, yet you didn't want to believe them. I don't know if it was harder to obtain the promises we were making or harder to obtain what we were showing you. Simple. It could have been that. But whatever it was, these people decided to follow the Dajjal, all right, or the jackal, as you may call it. You know what I'm saying? So one of the types of demons or beings that we will be speaking about would be Anubis. Interestingly enough, the one who was called Rashard Jamal calls himself Anubis, as what people are telling me. All right. So if I look and say, okay, there he is with the AI image of Anubis, he may not understand that everything that Phase One is saying, he's already shown people. They just didn't know how to read it. Anubis is the one that you meet in the desert, or Desher, as it was called in ancient Egypt. Okay, you have DSR, Desher, and it was the red zone, literally what we called it, the red zone, what they called it. All right. So when you say Desher is red, it was speaking about a different type of frequency, separate from the emerald frequency or the live or living frequency, which is why a lot of people read these stories like in your book, the Bible, where it says that Jesus, Asa, had to meet someone where? In the desert. And that person that met him in the desert did what? He tried to offer him a deal. Are you with me? In the desert, where he would say, I will make you rich, which we get Desher. It also brings you to the word riches, if you understand. Okay. All right, you go look it up in Arabic. In Hebrew, you'll understand these different variations of the word. So you got the riches, which didn't even mean anything when you say, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Meaning that which people are calling riches, right? When people are saying, yo, show me 25,000 right now. You ain't got no money, nigga. They don't understand. What they're really doing is exposing themselves, saying that that reality matters to them. Okay, a rich reality, which never meant anything. That rich reality is associated with the same offerings that these devils come. They know that the only thing that actually matters as a resource in this plane to them are human beings. Okay, and their soul, as in their SOLE, their soul purpose. And when you have a very powerful purpose and you're moving that way, yeah, they're going to come to you. You understand that? And they'll offer you a realm of fallacy. It's not real. So you say, oh, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to do all this other stuff. And they'll place you up above everybody else. And you start calling yourselves these gods. Notice everybody say, oh, the God this, the God that. You went against the God. Oh, you're right. I did go against the God. The God would have been the dog, okay, or Anubis, the jackal. And when we say the word jackal, according to right knowledge, we can pay attention to just the sounds and it'll tell you who you're dealing with. Jack L. If somebody comes to jack you, what they doing, y'all?
Hey, robbing you.
They call and listen, when you read the book of Malachi, doesn't it say, will a man rob God? I don't think they hear me, y'all.
Man.
So are you with me?
Go
so
ahead.
When you have Jack L,
Okay.
which you came to rob L, okay, meaning you came to jackal or jaquel.
Wow.
You spell it Jaquuel. You'll see another word. And jaquel means a supplanter. All right. And that is Anubis's job. You understand that? Because it was Anubis's job to help plant people under. All right. Supplant. If I say supplant, like Dr. Melakazi York said in 1992, he said, what? They're here to supplant you, Jacob. The reason why he used the word Jacob is because it means supplanter. All right. Everybody has their job. So you say Jacob, you say Yakub, you say jackal, you say jaquel. You're saying the same word, supplanter. And a supplanter is a deceiver. How do you know that? Because if you have somebody that's in position of authority already, let's say, I don't know, somebody who brought you right knowledge to this realm, brought you non-ether, brought you all of the science that these people are walking around acting like they understand and doing the actual works, where you could say this person has credentials to even make these claims because their works show for it. You understand that? So if somebody comes and brings you that, and then somebody comes along and says, I am the replacement of that. I am the updated version of that. I am what they call now the successor of that. All right. Yet they don't even have the credentials to show for it. That means that they stole their position or they stole their power in what we call an underhanded manner. It's not a truthful way. All right. It was stolen power, which is why we say, who put you here? Who really planted you here? To bring people under or lead people to the Desher light, or if you flip the letters and even Rashard around, you get Desher, interestingly enough, a Desher light, or people want to take the fast way. They don't want to go the longevo route. They want to be a Dasher or Desher. They keep falling back into the same traps over and over again, generation after generation after generation. Nobody asks, who put you here? Other than just your self-proclaimed status. Okay, who actually sent you here? We're supposed to ask that no matter who it is. Listen, when somebody comes and knocks on your door, you understand what are you going to ask? Who is it? And once you understand that it is who, then you need to understand that that creative force can divvy up into different ways and different forms. Same thing with that all spark or that true light. Don't think a Luciferian is inherently evil. Don't think that an angel is inherently good, and don't think that a demon is inherently bad. It just depends on the message that they're bringing out. They bring you something and say, hey, you can do this with this message, and you're not able to do it. That's not true light. Okay, that's a light that belongs to the fallacy, and that light in that regard means information. All right. So somebody's going to get you information to go to the left, or somebody's going to get you information to go to the right. And the right one is going to get you information to walk straight up to the center so you can find out the truth for yourself.
The true light, the green light.
That is the true light. And you do find the green light at the center, the true crossroad. You understand? That isn't the desert or the desire or the desher, okay, down there in the red or the root chakra. You with me? That answer your question? So demon,
you going in. Look,
good and bad. Those are two words that have meanings that can go in either direction. Good or bad.
That goes into my next question, because you kind of like almost answer it, but this is my next question. Now, I know this guy that he say he worships the devil, right? And you know, it don't really scare me because I ain't scared of the devil. I believe the blood of Jesus. I ain't scared of the devil, right? So, so I talked to him. And I'm trying to see, like, you worship the devil, but why you live so poor? Like you live your lights out. Like you live. Like, how you worship the devil and you so poor? I thought you worship the devil. I lied. People that say they worship the devil, like, oh, they don't really. People that really worship the devil don't really talk about it that much. And they ride around in Ferraris and shit. You know what I'm saying? They ride nice because they didn't really made it. Like they didn't really say they were down with Lucifer. So what do you say to people that they say they worship the devil but they poor? Like how does that work? Can you worship the devil and be poor, or do Lucifer have his followers poor? Or you know what I'm saying? I know. Look, I'm gonna say this. Then I'm gonna let you go in on that. I know once you make a decision what side you belong on, you ain't in that middle, you ain't in that soft spot where you don't just left hanging. See, the people that really work for the devil, they ball out of control until they time, you know, whatever what's up. You know, then but the people that made a decision for God too, they got what they need to. You know what I'm saying? They really made that decision. They got what they need. They ain't really. They may want some extra shit that they really don't need. But but go in. Could you go in on that? Why is this dude poor and he talking about he down with the devil? Is he really worshiping the devil? Or is he worshiping the wrong devil? Can you worship the wrong devil? Is there more than one devil? I mean, what, like, you know? Go ahead.
Okay, I see what you're asking. So what I think, for one, is the people who say, "Yo, I worship the devil, I worship Satan." I think they're dealing with a delusion and they're crying out for help. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is, because I don't think they know what they mean when they say things like that. Okay, because a lot of people say they worship the devil. Who they're talking about is Satan, right? And that word means opposer or adversary. And young elder, do you think it makes any sense for me to say I worship my aunt? Like, so I don't even say nothing to them. When people say stuff like that, I just kind of like make sure that they, nowhere near like wires or anything that could do something, you know what I mean, that can cause a negative effect. Just keep them away from appliances and things like that. They don't understand simple wording. They surely as hell can't grasp the sciences of things that could cause turmoil and disaster if you put it in their head. This is why we didn't give everybody the damn sacreds, because as soon as they get a Bible, they don't know how to act. It's just a fucking Bible. And people think, oh, I'm going against God. No, you're not. You're aligning with a story. This is what I'm showing you, right? Listen, pay close attention, Satanists, because y'all don't make sense. You're saying you're oppists. You could have said you were opportunists, but you didn't do that. You said you were oppists. You like your opposer. That doesn't make sense. You didn't even change the word. This is what a smart Satanist would have done. I'm not giving them any tips, but let's say that if they were smart, they would have done this. They would have said, I worship God. Why? Because Satan would have been your God. But then you start dealing with the fact that you have two different words that have a meaning, just like demon and angel. Satan doesn't mean bad. Satan means an op. And just because they're an op doesn't mean that they're inherently bad. Okay? An op to somebody that's coming in to shoot up a school, that's Satan to the school shooter. Okay? That's a savior to all of the people that's in the school, including those children. You understand that? So no, Satanists wasn't smart enough. They were like, yo, I read this book. The book says that the person you're vouching for, the person you worship, loses in the end. So this means one or two things. They didn't even read the book. They just hate anything good, which is good for us because they just put in a name tag on and say, don't be around me. Don't trust me. Leave me alone. So we don't be around them. We don't trust them. We leave them alone. Or they read the book, saw that the nigga loses in the end, and still said, we want to worship the loser. That doesn't even make sense. So Satanism has absolutely no foundation in sense at all. So we don't really bother them. We let them have what they have because that's the biggest delusion you could live with. Not only is worship alone putting yourself in a condition of being poor, because you're just worshiping somebody. You're under whoever these beings are. And if they decide they're not going to give you rain, you're poor for rain. You lack rain. All right. If they decide they're not going to give you friends or family, or they want to take it away, like in the story of Job, okay, however that plays out, even though people say, oh, the devil had to ask permission from God. Not really. Really, if you read the story, the devil was fucking with God. It was like, yo, what's going on? And God talked to him like, yo, where you been at? Da, da, da. Oh, I've been up and down the earth doing backflip shit. And he was like, yo, you know what? I bet you ain't seen Job. God actually offered Job up. The devil didn't come and say, yo, can I test Job? So let's get that clear. But let's say that you have these types of conditions where you're waiting on this supreme being to make a move. You're poor because you cannot make the move on your own. You're relying on another entity. So it's one thing to worship that already puts you in a condition to be poor. And sometimes they may allow you to be rich, but not richer than them. Read Nimrod's story. Not richer than them. Read the Bible story. Because the moment you start saying, I want to reach that level of being up there with God, they say, hold on, Genesis chapter 11. Let's go down there and see what they're doing, and let's stop that. So they'll keep you in form of worship. So worship is one thing that already puts you in a condition of being poor. So to speak, not only did you worship, you said you wanted to worship in the lowest tier. You understand? So you want to worship up under Satan. It doesn't even make sense. If you're going to worship, at least worship the one who victors in the end. So these people are just crying out for help. You notice a lot of people become emo, all right? Which is another word that actually doesn't make sense, because people say emo means you don't have emotion. But you got the word emo right there, which should predicate the foundation of emotion. But that's not what people do. They say emo and they say they're numb. They say emo and they say they don't have any feelings and they're not in touch with emotion at all. You understand that? So people who experience that satanic debacle or whatever that delusion is, they're really just crying out for help. So I don't really say anything to them, especially when it comes to poor and rich, because all of these are just words that say there's a condition. You with me? You can be rich without money, and you can be poor with it. What's happening up here? That's where the silent war is taking place. If you want to understand it clearly, it's happening in the brain, mentally. Where a lot of people say spiritually. Okay, but if people start replacing that word spiritually when it comes to this type of stuff with the word mentally, it'll make more sense. That's the jihad, as you call it. All right. Where you have this strive that you have, this effort that you put it in to struggle and fight to do better and improve yourself, as the Muslims know about. You know what I mean? And that will be referred to as the greater jihad. Then you have the lesser jihad where they use it for like war, which is still the same thing. Because when you're saying there's a war inside, or a war in the heavens, or a war that takes place in your brain between these different messengers and these different beings, you understand that? Someone has to win, so there's a struggle. You with me? So to them, I would just suggest people do is know that people who are calling themselves Satanists are saying that they're on the side of their adversary. When you see stuff like that, you just leave it alone. That don't even make sense. It don't even.
I got another question tying in, because the same guy, right? Because the same guy, he live on my street, and and then he tried to give my boy some gifts or whatever, and I wouldn't take it because I was like, because I don't know what he doing on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm kind of aware a little bit of this game, right? And and so, but another thing I noticed, because we talking about dark energy, dark warfare, right?
Yeah.
Man, these crows, they come on our street and they only land on his house. They don't land on nobody else's house. They land on his house like they familiar with that energy, some energy, like he got some kind of vortex open over there. And look, he got like toilets. Just his whole house is trash, like real dirty. They say cleanliness is next to godliness, and so I guess that dirtiness would be said. So that's why I'm saying like them. Hold on, man. Somebody tried to break up in here, man.
Break up in where?
Hold on. Somebody accidentally came into our chat because I accidentally posted into okay, hold up. Oh yeah, so hold on, y'all. All right, there we go. Yeah. Hey, so I noticed that on his street, I mean, on his in front of his house, these crows, they come and they only land on. They don't land on nobody else's house. They won't even come land on our house. They won't even land on our yard, nothing. But his house, they land all like a swarm of them land on his house. Some of them even land like on his front door, like sit at his front door. And I'm saying, damn, why them crows only go to his spot? So I'm saying, like, Could you think that could it be like some kind of vortex or some kind of energy that dark energy that he working with to attract those all those crows to come to only land on his house and nobody else's house?
It's possible. It depends on what you mean by energy.
Yeah, like I don't know, like so opening some kind of, maybe he's like doing some kind of Ouija board or opening some kind of board, playing with some kind of some kind of energy, certain type of scientific energy, dealing with that, with the negative.
It's possible. Either that or it's just there are things that are in that area that crows are attracted to. That's one way, right? I don't know what those things would be for those particular beings, but they may be attracted to them, or it's an omen for you to tell you to stay away from it. You know what I mean? Just stay away from that area unless you're attracted to that type of energy or that dead energy or that straw man energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see the scarecrow.
It kind of creeped me out a little bit. A little bit. It kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, I understand that because it's dark. Even the word, if you walked outside and you saw a lot of like doves, you would be at ease. So it's still that it's the psychosis that's come from all of these different teachings and all these different mystic schools and all that. It's just aligning because most of the time when people think dark, they think evil. That's not what it means. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what you're doing with the dark bird or the crow. The crow might be a virtuous messenger. You may not know that though, because you're looking for a virtuous messenger to come in a bright color. You know what I mean? Which is why a lot of these beings attempt to come in these types of colors and these types of frequencies, as people say, which still align with colors, all right, or nanometers, because they know it's appealing to people, all right. And when they attempt to approach in the darkness, they know that people get afraid and that adrenaline get to pumping. And when that happens, and no telling what human beings will do, so they you know what I'm explaining to you. So it could be a positive messenger. You never know. When you look at stories like the Raven and Dove or the Raven and Dove, it may seem like the dove will be the agreeable one, but it's not always the case.
Right.
You know what I mean? So white doesn't always mean agreeable, and light doesn't always mean agreeable. Dark doesn't always mean disagreeable. So I really don't know the answer as to whether or not he's opening a vortex or any of that, because I'm not over there to look and see and assess the situation and say, okay, this is why the crows are here. How many crows are here right now? This is the direction they facing. You know what I mean? Look over there. Did you notice that corpse over there? You know, I'm not saying that they would just gather around it. I'm just saying that.
And then look, the dude the dude say he go to the park over at the park, and then they cut chickens up and stuff like that, and do like at 2 o'clock in the morning, they go over to the park and pouring blood with the chickens and shit. So that's what I'm thinking.
That's a disturbed person. We understand, like, okay, you're dealing with a disturbed person. A lot of them are coming out, especially these days, and they're coming out sporadically. You got people that's wanting, they got, I don't know, he paint his nails black. He talking about he sacrificed his son.
That's exactly. Yep.
Okay, they're just disturbed. You know, a lot of their perceptions have been warped, and they're dealing with PTSD. You know, so you really want to know what PTSD is. It starts with that psychosis, then it goes to that tantalization, all right, and then it's that self-abandonment, and then it's the delusion. So a lot of people, I just gave you PTSD, so you can take that if they want to run with it. Start with the psychosis. What happened? Okay, somebody might have lied to you, your preacher, your pastor, and you have a vendetta against them. Okay, you actually start self-harming, because killing an animal has psychological effects. All right, which even when you start, people, I've never gone hunting a day in my life. All right, I don't want to kill animals. It's not my thing. But in order for you to take an animal's life, there has to be a psychological deviation that takes place. You understand? Because you're aware that this being is alive. All right, which is why children, when they first experience stuff like that, it's traumatic. Okay, so when somebody's dealing with something like that, they promised them this, and then they grew up and realized it wasn't real, or they started associating Christianity with Christmas and Santa Claus and all this other stuff, right? That causes for people to suffer, and they're distorted in their realities, so they start acting out. If you killing children, and not killing children, but if people's talked about that, I heard everybody speak on that. But if you killing chickens and bleeding them out and all this other stuff, all you're doing is harming beings to get a rush from a traumatic response, which means that somebody harmed you. You understand that? Somehow, with all of the power that I've had over my lifetime, all of the information I've acquired over my lifetime, somehow I have yet to kill a chicken. You understand? Somehow I've yet to bleed out a goat or stab an animal or do any of this stuff. You don't need to do any of these things. when all of this is that's that Yoruba, all the people been tied up in stuff that they don't even know anything about, so they try to mimic it, and then it's just you just basically killing animals for the heck of it. That's why Pop said the heck of it is a hex, a spell. You're doing it for the spell, not dispelling the religious state of it. You don't really even know what it is. So there are people who may have that degree overstood about, and that's why I asked you and said it depends on what you mean by energy. Okay, because energy is just the capacity to do work.
Yeah, to me,
you
this
understand that?
guy, you know, he just a dark punk rock type guy, like you explained, one of them guys, and he cool. To me, he a friendly, good, like he cool, he friendly, like he speaking whatever, but you know, like you know, I still got that, man. I don't, you know, I got that. I don't like Lucifer, you know, like that type of thing. So
yeah, I
like,
don't like that type of energy either. A lot of people tell you what they do so that you can see them in a certain light.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the dark light is more powerful because people don't find out what it is. Okay, the Wizard of Oz was powerful, or the Wizard of Ooze, really, or the Wizard of Ooze, which is strength. All right, it was powerful because people didn't know what it was. The moment you pull that veil back or that curtain back, now you see, oh, this ain't even that powerful of a being.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people like the fact that most people ain't going over there. They ain't gonna go and research and figure out what the darkness is. It's so off-putting for some that it separates them from wanting to. There's no will, there's no excitement to go and figure it out. So then those people wind up becoming more powerful. Same reason why you got people like the smart rapper who would say stuff like, yeah, you see this person doing this person doing this person doing this, and then you see this. And then one of the niggas was like, what does that mean? Because he was like, you see the black and white chessboard floors or checkerboard floors. And the dude was like, what does it mean? He's like, it means mind control. And I know every Mason around the world was like, no, the fuck, it doesn't. but he couldn't say, smart rapper, whoever he is, I don't know him, I don't want to disrespect him, but I'm just saying he didn't know what he was talking about with that. You know, listen, every Mason was like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does, which tile then? Which tile means mind control? Because the whole process of entering into Masonic orders is for you to become from a good man to a better man, to transition, and you actually lose that which makes you be mind controlled. That's what the purpose is. You're losing that illusory realm that you were existing in, that delusional realm or illusional realm that you were existing in. All right, which means that you're actually removing whatever psychosis was there that caused you to hallucinate or have illusions in your experiences. And there's a difference because the hallucination happens like in the mind, okay, primarily. And then the illusion happens when you're looking at something and you think, oh, I see checkerboard floors. That must mean mind control. That's an illusion. You know, because when we ask you, explain it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a question I was just about to ask about. Could you go in on the black and white floors? I was just like, you subliminally. That's why I didn't say that. You was going right into it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So the black and white is the same thing. Negative and positive, left and right. Okay. Darkness and light. And a lot of people are afraid of the what? Dark. Like they're afraid of the dark, which is the light. You said it right still. See, that's how you would know. You still said it right because inner darkness is light. That's where you have to know which word is being used, how, and when. So when I'm saying light there, as in like you just said it, people are afraid of the light. They're afraid of the dark, meaning knowledge that people just don't know. The unknown is scary for people. Same reason why children are afraid of the dark, because their brains take over. And a lot of adults are afraid of the dark for that same reason, because they haven't gotten rid of the psychosis that came from horror movies. You understand? Where now you think darkness means something is out to get you. All right, when you should be out to get the darkness. I entered into the dark order to understand about it, and it became light. You start realizing that it's just because you got a blindfold on don't mean it's dark in the building. The moment you take that blindfold off, you realize it was light in this bitch the whole time. So going into the darkness means that you just had a certain type of experience going in. And then your experience is enhanced when you start realizing that experience happened because of this article of clothing that was on you. You understand? Or this fabric that was covering your eyes, or this veil. You with me? So black or darkness means unknown. And white or light means now you know it, which means that they're a continuum. The black and the white are a continuum. They're one and the same, and they're interchangeable. So anybody saying that the chessboard floors or the checkerboard floors, as they mistakenly quoted to be, thinking that we're playing checkers, all right? When people say chess, not checkers, that's a Masonic statement. All right, when people say a wise man hears one word and understands two, that's Masonic in nature. All right, if you're thinking that this means mind control, it's only because you haven't accessed the information that will allow for you to see the other side of it. So you're speaking from the dark tongue as opposed to the light tongue, meaning you really don't truly know. So how can you speak true information when you don't have it? You get what I'm explaining to you? Yeah. So I have to go in and see that. A lot of people don't want to do that, so they stick on the outside. And that's why I say there is truly a difference between the speculative and the operative. And a lot of people that think they understand that don't understand. There's so many degrees to it, if you see what I'm saying. Like even the fact that people don't have the 0 or the O in the G-D when they're giving it and they're not able to grasp that, they're missing the 360. The 360 is saying all encompassing. Right. But people just stop at the compass. And inside of the compass, they say, oh, I can face any direction. You're already facing all directions. All encompassing. You understand that? It's a different song that people will sing when they get that. Go ahead.
Like my next question I got for you, man, because it's a war, it's a dark war. Now, and this might be a two-part question. Because with a person like you who's fighting for good, and a person like Doc or anybody else that's out here that's fighting against, that's like, say if they might be a person that somebody might be going to commit suicide, and that person just be the person they come in contact with. They talk them to them and then change their mind. And they might not even talk to them about the suicide. They might talk to them about something else, but that energy of coming in contact with them change their mind. Now, being that we are at war, can this dark energy use beings such as like our wife or somebody without them being knowing it? Like they can be attacking you not knowing that they being used by this dark energy, being that we at war. Okay, could you go in on that? People
right, exactly. So what Dr. Malachi, according to what Dr. Malachi York taught, it doesn't take long. It takes anywhere between 30 seconds, right? Or I think he said 3 seconds to 3 minutes, where these beings get to circling around your head and they can detect and pick up on your hala or your aura or your human atmosphere and know that they can download into you and cause these negative suggestions. And notice that as we say the word suggestion, it means that somebody's saying, yo, you should probably do this or do this. Hey, just go in there and fuck with him for no reason. He ain't even doing shit till you just go fuck with him. You know what I mean? Or just go fuck with her for no reason. She ain't even did nothing to you. Just go mess up her day. You understand? So that can happen. But why would that happen? This would be the possibility that there are beings that are able to be far more intelligent than what we could predict from our standing. And they can see the whole field, yet they're not able to interact with the field how human beings are. That's why people think you have only overseers. All right. You also have underseers. And that's just talking about status. And you also have not just positive overseers. You also have negative overseers. There has to be a balance in all of these things. And even what people are calling balance is really an imbalance, because the balance will mean that all of this will be working positively or more favorably. Okay. Don't think negative means bad inherently. Negative is just one side of a magnet. Okay. And positive doesn't mean good inherently. It's just one side of a magnet. You understand that? So it's possible that there are beings who can see more than what we can see. Similarly, you have certain types of parasites who can go into certain animals. And the reason why they might go into an animal or a rodent or a mice or a mouse is to say, okay, I'm going to take control of your body for now, and I'm going to alter your brain. And the way I'm going to alter your brain is I'm going to make you fearless or less fearful of certain animals like cats, right? What the animal is not even aware of, or that rodent is not even aware of, is the intellectual factor of that being. But the being is aware of it, and it has a plan. So it goes into this rodent, makes it fearless, is not afraid of the cat. So the mice is like, fuck that.
Yeah, rabies is one. Rabies is one. Yeah, rabies make the animal do that. It make them be fearless. It make them go out of their norm.
Exactly. Well, why? Yeah. Why would it happen?
Because that parasite is control, like just like you just said. That's what I was making. That's like you just said.
Exactly. And the cat eats that rodent, and then that parasite is able to live on in the cat. Now, the parasite was aware of its existence, knowing so much so, even if it just instinctually, it knew that it could not exist long in the rodent. You with me? But it would exist longer in the cat. So the reason why it shifted around the brain of the rodent was so that the rodent wouldn't be afraid of the cat. It wouldn't try to run. The cat eats it. It can live longer. This parasite. Same thing that happens to human beings. So you say parasite, you're saying something that is feeding off of a host or being housed in such a way. Don't think it's just dealing with demons or spirits or interdimensional beings. It's parasites and also thoughts. Okay, somebody's thought could take on a form that could cause stress, and now you have a war in the heavens. Where that war in the heavens is affecting that state of peace or tranquility in your household. You understand that? Well, you have what's called chemical messengers or neurotransmitters. Or listen, I'll show you something that ain't nobody said. You got chemical messenger. The word chem or chem means black or dark. All right, and messenger, angelos, dark angels. Okay, we have chemical messengers in our being. And then you have neurotransmitters. When you say the word neuro, you're saying light. All right, or transmitter, meaning also messenger. All right, so you have light messengers, dark messengers just happening in your body. So let's say, for instance, you got a chemical being or a dark being, and let's call it cortisol. You understand what I'm saying? It's a cortisol, it's a stress response. And once that cortisol gets up in ranks and is able to do damage, now something has to happen in your body to offset that or fight or war with it. And all of this taking place in the brain is responses of the brain. Most of it is response to stimuli, which all of that happens in the brain centrally. You understand that? So now you may need to release dopamine. And dopamine rises up, take out his sword and say, hit cortisol, call cortisol to the battlefield. And now they're fighting and warring. But if you don't have enough of the dopamine, then cortisol will triumph. All right. But if you have too much dopamine, then not only will cortisol not triumph, dopamine starts having an adverse effect also and causing more disorder. So each of these beings, where you say you thought chemical messenger or the cortisol was the negative one, no, he could also be, or it could also be the dopamine position as the neurotransmitter that's the negative one. You understand? It depends. You can have too much dopamine. You understand what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah,
you have too much of either. So these wars take place internally, that jihad take place internally. So just a thought could irritate or inflame a person to the point of wanting to lash out against other people. So it's not always a parasite or some type of extra somatic entity, meaning outside of the body. Okay,
yeah,
it's not always
so to sum
that.
it up, a word that I'm complementing what you're saying is like inner me, inner me, right? That type thing,
yeah. So if you don't understand what's happening inside of you when you're going through these things, when you're not emotionally aware, then you could be a disagreeable or a demon of somebody. You know what I mean? And their story. And I think we've done that in our lifetime. I can vouch for myself. Just being chemical imbalance could lead to you to be the downer in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ever heard that? The downer, meaning you're pulling people down like Iblis. When Allah was like, yo, you were of the low. Go ahead.
My vibe.
Yeah, killing the vibe. Meaning when people say vibe and vibration, frequency, energy, what they're really saying, young, and people got to really update terminology in these days and time. All right. They're really talking about an emotional atmosphere. All right. If I say, yo, I don't fuck with your vibe, that's saying that the emotional atmosphere that is associated with myself is affected what I call negatively when I'm dealing with you. All right. So say you got a bad vibe. That bad vibe may not transfer over to other people. That same person you say got a bad vibe, everybody might be fucking saying, what's wrong with you? This person's cool. Right? Or I don't get a good vibe, bro. So you have to understand that I factor is saying you centrally do not feel welcome around that person, or you know what I mean? Like this person is good for the environment. Or what some people try to do is just because this person ain't good for them, they want everybody to think, you know what I mean, that person is evil. Same thing with what happens. You got two people that might go to war. All right, or two scholars, or two leaders, or two elders, whatever they want to call people. They might go to war. The one who's focused on the truth, they just want the truth to get out there. The one who's focused on the deception and the illusion that they're trying to hold up, they want everybody to go against their opponent. Okay, at that time, or their op at that time. That has nothing to do with the truth. So they start attacking the person as opposed to dealing with what it is that's important, which is the truth. So my answer to you is, any of these beings could integrate into, like Venom does, any human being at any given time, so long as they don't have that psychic self-defense set up. But the psychic self-defense doesn't stop at whether or not you're going to allow demons to get into your being. Okay. It also reaches out or branches out toward the parameters of, do you really know what's happening in your brain? Are you familiar with endorphins? Are you familiar with serotonin? Are you familiar with dopamine? Are you familiar with any of these things that are like oxytocin? Are you familiar with this? Because if you aren't, then you're not aware of what you're experiencing. And when you're not aware of what you're experiencing, you're subject to being the downer, or you're subject to losing control over your brain. Go ahead.
Now the goat Now we get into the goat. Because we know I noticed that the Baphomet symbol with the goat head and the goat being an independent creature, and we riding the goat. They all the Masonic guys like to use that jogging a lot. The goat this, goat that, feeding the goat. We're gonna go feed the goat. My daddy used to scare me. Well, my granddaddy used to say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go down here and feed the goats," and then he going to the lodge. But like I put it together later, but I'm saying, what is the science? Why do everybody want to be the GOAT? Why do everybody worship the GOAT? You know, you got Michael Jordan, they say he the GOAT. They say Kobe the GOAT. You got LeBron the GOAT. Everybody's the GOAT. Everybody's going after this GOAT. And then they even asked this one lady, they said, who is God? And then she said, Baal is God. These elite people, these elite. They really don't call him Satan. They call him God, a master. And then when they say, who's your master? They say Baal. Right. Okay. So why is this GOAT thing so synonymous? Everybody worshiping the GOAT. Everybody want to be this GOAT. Could you go in on that?
Well, it's also one of those things where people are suffering, and they're suffering out loud. All right. A lot of people were deceived. And when they were deceived, somebody came along and said, I have the truth for you. All right. And they ran behind that person. And they didn't know. Okay. You ever heard people say stuff like, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink?
Right. Right.
I don't know any suicidal horses, so I don't know what that means. Okay, you lead the horse to the water, it must be thirsty. It's going to drink. But no, if you lead a horse to a mirage and there is no water, it can't drink. That's what people need to be saying. You can lead a horse to a mirage, it'll die because you done let it all the way, put all this energy out, exerted all this energy. All right, and now it got to something that didn't even exist. That's what people are dealing with. They've been tantalized. If you know the story of Tantalus in Greek, all right, that story was talking about a being who tried to go to war with certain guys, and it was basically a trickster, but he was saying that he was doing it and was supposed to be a positive way, similar to Nimrod's story, okay? But he went to war with the guys. He tried to feed, I think, Zeus, his son, back to him. And he thought that the guys weren't really omniscient like they were claiming to be, or these Olympians. They weren't really omniscient, meaning they didn't really know all these things they were claiming. But the guys was on to him like, nigga, you tried to feed us this nigga's son. So they punished him and they put him in that underworld state. There goes that under again. They supplanted him. And when they supplanted him or put him in that underworld or that Ramaduat, what they did was they placed water around him, pay attention, from his hip bones down. Okay, they had him in the water, and then they put a tree of fruit above him. So when he would try, you ever saw the meme when he say you got to be quicker than that? Coming from that commercial where they had those fishing rods.
Yeah. Almost had it. Almost got it.
Exactly. You got to be quicker than that. Meaning the certain sciences are too slow. You're not even going to be able to reach them. They're just out of reach. And when something is out of reach, but you think is dead, you become tantalized. Stay with me. That's a Tantalus story. So every time he tried to bend down and get some water, the water would be like, fuck you, and subtract itself. And then every time he go try to reach up for the fruit would say the same thing. So he was stuck in a realm of tantalization. Say it slow. Tantalization. Tainted lie, Satan. Tainted lie of Shaitan. The tainted lie of Shaitan is that the demiurge world reigns supreme. That's what he gave you, Sophia. Okay, it was the Sophia effect, where people are now attracted to this dark world, but they're being fed the fallacy of it and not the truth of it. How do you know that? Well, people that are associating themselves with Baphomet are aligning themselves with an op, meaning it's going against that activated self. They're tuning into the reptilian brain, meaning when you think of Baphomet, you got the goat head, not the God head, the goat head. It's an animal. Listen to me. And you have hindquarters, all right, of the goat also, or the satyr. This means that the only thing that's left to function as even what will be referred to as man is the torso and the arms. That means that the being Baphomet is predominantly an animal, predominantly animalistic, predominantly limbic or limbic, means that you haven't surpassed that band, if you want to call it that, that allows for you to actually do the works of God. Meaning, if I have you in a valence band, all right, or a valence condition, or a valence value, and you're not able to be a conductor, you're still down there moving around slowly. You're moving too slow. If I introduce true light, this is science, by the way. If I introduce the true light or the warmth or the heat from the sun, Ra, What it allows for you to do, if you're able to receive it, is you cross over that band. And now you're able to be up here with the conductors, all right, or the ones who are the productors are productive enough to make things happen, come up here and stop standing under. A lot of people not paying attention to the fact that the whole Sophia lineup comes from somebody who was the one kicking Sophia out of the heavenly plane, and she dropped down into the root world. And say, well, it still means wisdom. Sophia means wisdom. Yeah, Sophia means wisdom just as much as Sophia Stewart means someone who safeguards or keep that wisdom from you. And the next thing you know, you're trying to climb beyond that band or go beyond that crossroad, and you can't. Because how are you going to ascend into godhood when you got a goat head? Does this make sense? The animalistic brain, reptilian brain, am I losing anybody?
Beast mentality.
Huh? The beast mentality.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people adopted. So then they started, after that, it became the Knights Templar, was just saying the body of the night, or Lilith. Okay, night is darkness, and Templar is the temple, the body of the night, meaning they weren't charged up and they weren't glowing. Meaning, how can you have a halo or be of the people of the sun, Helio, and you're dead and dark? All right. Again, this is just meanings of the word that people haven't considered. Then you have Set. People started aligning with Set and 666 and everything lower. All right. When you look at the 6 of the yin and the yang, you have lower, all right, or negative, or what's called Siri, all right, or Siri yin. That's where you have the yin and the yang. Siri yin means secret, and it's kept back. So you don't really have that. Like, I don't know anything about a secret society. I never heard of that. You ever heard of a secret society? If it's a secret society, you wouldn't have known what it was.
Right.
You understand that? So people are, oh, these are secret societies. And how the fuck do you know what it? All of these all of these are delusions. The story of the demiurge is a delusion. People say they're so advanced and spiritually inclined, yet they're falling literally up under symbols of angels who literally in the story fell from grace, meaning they had the grace because they were able to rise above the deception.
That's my next
get what I'm saying? Go ahead, huh?
Dude, you went right to my next question. I was gonna say, why is so many secret societies? Why is it so many? Because then when I go and study some of them, I found out each one of them got their own god that they follow, and then it turns out to be one of them is one of the 200 fallen.
Yeah.
Like each of these 200 fallen had their own secret society or something like that. And then people, I followed this particular god, but it's one of the fallen. So could you go in on that? Or why is it so many different secret societies?
Well, you said the key word, God. That's even when I don't know if you can see what's on my hat, okay, but it's a Masonic emblem,
right, or
a light. All right. So right there in the center, you have that G, which stands for what? God, or God for some, G-D for others.
Some say Grand Architect, which is the same thing as God, really.
Grand Architect, if you want to say that, or GAD, God. Okay, it's the same thing. With that word GAD, which people don't really look at, it just means a troop. All right. When you have Michael versus the dragon, or Tanin, or Satan and his angels, and then you have Michael and his angels, and you have these beings warring with one another, right? These are troops. Or another translation would give you the word flock. You with me? Meaning, who are they following? People need someone to look up to. Whitney Houston. They just want to look up to somebody. They don't want to deal with what it means to become an L. When you're an L, you're responsible for what you do. You can't put it on somebody else. Nobody's going to be able to forgive you for your actions. Can you forgive you? Nobody's going to be able to alleviate guilt and take it all away from you. All right. That just means you're attempting to suppress what you're going to have to deal with anyway. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people wanted information, but they didn't want the responsibility of what it means to carry the information. So they didn't want to carry the light. So people followed Lucifers or Luciferians or Luciferum. And that meant that they followed after people who carried the light. They didn't want to have the light for themselves. They wanted to be believers. Notice Dr. Malachi York said, don't believe me. Check it out. Make sure that it works for you. You walking around trying to be me. You're trying to imitate me. You're falling for this mirror effect, thinking that just because your mirror neurons are firing off when you're listening to somebody speak and you're becoming more empathetic, that empathetic effect of the mirror neurons, they're firing off, that means that somehow you're them. No, it's okay to be influenced. All right. It's okay to be impressed upon. It's okay to be inspired. All right. It's not okay, or it's not favorable. I'll say it like that. It's not favorable for you. It won't do you any good to just be mirroring a police officer and you never joined the academy. All right. That becomes an impersonator. If you're mirroring a Muslim, all right, and you didn't actually do what you knew a Muslim was supposed, like Pop said, saying you're Muslim out of your mouth, but not living up to what you know your heart is supposed to be doing, that's impersonation. All right. When you have an impersonation effect, it means that most people are just running around acting like they've reached these degrees. But then is the work getting done behind them? And the answer is no. You understand what I'm explaining to you? So that goes still into the fact that we're in this mirage or this mirror age. All right. And if people stop trying to just mirror a thing and actually do the works of it, stop trying to look this, look that. They say, oh, Faise, you try to look good. No, that's the problem. Either you want to look good or you're going to do good. You want to look like this or you're going to be that. I don't want to look like anything. That's illusion. That's just tricks of light. Okay. The works are far more important. You with me? So a lot of these people following these beings because they need somebody to lead them. They need somebody to tell them do this, that, and the third. They're not able to, at that point in time, take on the information as their own and do what they need to do with it. So they're falling for that mirror age effect. They're just going to walk after somebody. That's what you see the sheep's doing. That's why they're able to just walk in circles or circumambulate. And you see the deer doing the same thing. They just walk in circles. And you really can't tell who's following who. They call it the blind leading the blind. You understand? So that's what people, and they think that once they gather this information, that's all there is to it. What Pop say is what Dr. Malachi York said, you can't just sit on the truth. Once you get the truth, now you got to go out, learn how to plant and grow. You got to go out there and teach it. It has to make sense. You got to do works with that truth. If not, you just operating in the realm of deception. You know what I mean? Which I encourage people to avoid that. If you can't use what somebody's giving you, leave it alone.
Right now, dark magic. It's like I know it's good and bad and everything. People use dark magic. People use tarot cards.
Yep.
Now, what's your take on that? On the using the dark magic? Is it depending on their intentions? What's your take on the dark magic? And so, because some people say, "Well, I ain't with the devil, but I use dark magic." They
don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so. It's just a lot of people just need to start realizing they don't know what they're saying, family. That's it. If people start there, people have to recreate themselves. All right. There shouldn't be any stigma placed on complete and utter recreation of self. There shouldn't be any stigma on it. But there's a lot of stigma on so many. There's a stigma on what you're talking about, dark magic. And stigma is just a word that means a mark. Simple. Or a puncture. Because they don't realize that when you following after Christ in the story, they say, pick up your cross and walk with me. All right, if Jesus was punctured with the spear of destiny, according to that story, then you have to also go through that too. If Jesus suffered a quote unquote death, then you suffer that ideal death also, or that allegory of a death also, that metaphorical death. So that black magic or dark magic thing is just saying it's two words that means I don't know. If dark means lack thereof, and magic means science, and science means you know something, when you say I practice black or dark magic, you're saying you practice not knowing shit. And people got to stop saying that. So what you're really trying to say with dark magic or black magic is you don't know what it is. So start there. Okay. What you really need to be studying if you want to take magic further is chemistry, physics. All right. Understanding how things interact with one another on an elementary basis. Simple. Knowing what types of gases, learn the noble gases, see what happens when you mix things in with one another. Figure out the fundamental basis of all things. Stop using quantum like it's some spiritual word and say what it actually means. If I'm trying to quantify a thing, that I'm working to literally figure out what is the most basic unit or discrete unit of that thing. Or I'm also asking how much of it is required to do this. You know what I'm saying? So magic is just science that people are either aware of or not aware of. And black magic means you just don't know what that science is. It's like saying the Hellenistic period or the Hellen concealed mystic period, concealed magic, concealed science, things that you won't be a master of because you don't know what it is completely. If I give you only a certain amount of degrees, if I say, here go 1 degree, and you running around telling people about that your whole life, but I didn't tell you about the other two. I'm the overseer. I'm the overstander. I'm the one who has the power, the truth. How do you know who was able to really use magic? You got people walking around with crystals, right? No disrespect to the crystal community, but I think y'all should grow up. We're not in pre-K anymore. And if you're not ascending, you're left behind. If you're still walking around with crystals talking about this is protecting me, and if I ask you about photoconductivity and what I just brought up about valence and conduction, you can't tell me anything, you might want to sit those down, because what you're experiencing is a placebo effect that's interacting with your concept of an emotional atmosphere. Meaning, if you take this amethyst, you're like, this is going to protect me. Protect you from what? Somebody starts shooting at you. What did the amethyst do? Notice it's always protecting you from shit you can't even say what the fuck it is. We gotta grow up. I'm sorry, but a lot of people gotta grow the fuck up. When people are saying y'all playing with rocks, they're telling you the truth. When people are saying you're playing with magic wands and you're going around thinking, listen, I watched the Harry Potter movie. They don't do what y'all do in the spiritual community. They be getting shit done. You know, you walk to and see somebody with a wand and they shoot a ray of light out of it and they blow a building up, then the wand works. But if the wand is just accompanied with sage, it's just to make you feel good, feel better, maybe get rid of some bacteria. It's not going to ward off people who actually know that that wasn't talking about some spirit science. What the fuck is that? Spirit means you don't know. Science. So you don't know. You don't know. No. You double don't know. And you're telling me I'm supposed to follow these people. Yet you let Rashard Jamal sell you a crystal for $222 or $333, whatever you felt like it, because angel numbers, right? And then you get it. You say, I got something that's going to work. You ain't used this since you bought it, because what the fuck is it used for? You don't really, truly know it. That's what I'm explaining. All of it is just psychosis. And that is what Nuwapu was about, breaking the psychosis. What is psychosis? Just like I said, the water in the desert. Look at the words, psychosis, psych, oasis. What's psych? Psych ain't real, right? Oasis, water in the desert, right? Okay, so if it's psychosis or psych oasis, it's not the real water, it's fake water. So who to give a fuck what horse was brought to it? It ain't real. Start looking at reality. People have brought y'all out of touch with reality. And then you meet people who are in touch with reality. And then you're upset with us because we're trying to shake you, wake up out of your sleep, you out of the delusion that you subscribe to. You came up under the writings or the spells of someone. So the same way when people are pulling out these quartz wands and stuff like that, it's great that you have them. We like that. As a matter of fact, it encourages you to be quote unquote more spiritual, which means mentally aware, self-aware. That's what you're really saying. All right. Notice that all the spiritual stuff that people are saying they're doing, most of it aligns to putting them in a position of power. So here's how we see who really used the magic. If we can look at Robert Oppenheimer and he was able to do the magic to blow up a whole fucking civilization, that's a magician. Somebody that was able to reverse the effect of a blown up bathroom using sage, that's not a magician. That's somebody who's conscious of the fact that somebody might walk in a bathroom and smell some shit. It's two different crowds of beings. Anytime you're looking at these guys that people speak about, these guys were powerful. They actually controlled things. They made things happen. And when it was time to go to war, they didn't do so with like advanced brain power. They actually went to war and leveled civilizations. Everybody want to bring up Atlantis, and everybody want to bring up Lemuria. All right, or Lemuria. They want to bring these places up. Do they talk about the thermonuclear war? I don't know if they do. If they do, they're going to have to pay attention to the fact that thermonuclear is some shit you have to really understand about in order to do it. You don't just wake up and say, I'm finna thermonuclear some shit. You got to understand the formulas that go into it, the numbering, the mathematics that happens. And a lot of people are taking the path that most people are traveling, as opposed to the path that is least traveled. You take the path that's least traveled, you'll understand. It takes more time to become a god. You don't just call yourself that.
But
it takes more time. Go ahead.
I got another question for you leading up to that, because I think what it is TV is kind of throw us off, because some of the stuff we see on TV, we think it go along with what they associated with. Like when they show us like some on TV, they saying abracadabra. We thinking that's really what it is, and it's really alchemy. It's really, they didn't mix some kind of two powders together, so when they hit each other, they blow up or some shit, you know. So it's more alchemy, and that's what I was saying. And you could go in on this too. when the French came to attack the Haitians, and they had knew some kind of poison that they can put on darts, and they could spit it at them and they hit them, and once that shit get into their bloodstream, they start seeing little like elephants and shit coming out the ground and zombies and shit, and they thinking that these motherfuckers doing voodoo on us, but it's really some kind of poison that they just shot them with. You know what I'm saying? To make them hallucinate. Yeah. Could you go in on that part of how they do TV to confuse us, which part is for fictional, which part is real, and not? And go ahead.
So you know what Pops broke down, Dr. Melakazi explained what everybody be saying about the television meaning tell alive visually. Okay, that's what an illusion does. It tells you alive visually. You think when you see the color blue, you're looking at the color blue. All right, you're looking at a chemical response. You're paying attention to a reflection that's been reflected onto you and interpreted in the brain. But you call it blue, and you think that because you called it that, that's what it is. But if I ask you to explain what it is and actually rebuild it in a simulation, you can't. All right, that means you don't have the foundational information on it. So when they project to you images through the television or sounds, radio waves, whatever it is, they're attempting to, and they do it successfully, paint a reality for you. If I paint a reality, that's not the actual reality. When people go into the movie theater, all right, which is all of that is just bullshit. Think about the word movie. They say movie as in we got some pictures. They called them pictures at first. And then they say, oh, these are talkies because the pictures started talking. No, they didn't, but that's what people went for, right? So the pictures start talking, even though you're talking about each frame of an image flashing. So you're dealing with millions of pictures. You know what I'm explaining to you? And then people say, oh, the pictures are moving. That's an animation effect. It's not really a picture moving. You're just looking at different frames flashing before you, no matter how advanced they get. That's all you've ever been looking at. But people go into that and then what's it? They watch it. They say, ooh, they jump when the shit pop off. You know what I mean? And they see a love scene. They get excited. You know, they see a fight scene. They ready to see who's going to win. All this stuff. It's fake. I don't know if people knew that. I want to let y'all know. Movies aren't real. They're scripted. And, you know, there's actually no such thing as Superman. But if you ask somebody to draw Superman, what would they do? They'll draw him. They'll remember his story, Batman, I'm Batman, all of that. And they're just a part of an illusion that somebody else put out, these characters. But people will say that these characters actually exist, even if in the mind. You know what I'm explaining to you? Now, if they can do that with just the movies, what make you think they can't do that with history? What make you think they can't do that with science? What make you think they can't do that with politics? What make you think they're selling all of these different ideas? But if somebody's selling you an idea, that's for a reason. All right. The most simple person would think that the purpose of selling the idea is for money. That's on the bottom of the pyramid. No, the purpose of selling ideas is to maintain the utmost survival chances ever out of all of the people that will have the shot. If they're giving you an idea, they want to survive. You look at the snake oil salesman or the salesman, they come to your door, knock on you, and you say, who is it? And niggas selling you whatever the fuck they selling you. You think because you're giving them money that that's what it was about. But there are beings who are millions of times far more advanced than him. Families far more advanced than he is. And their whole purpose is they just want to survive. So if they know we've been sitting on here on top of this mountain, one day them ants going to come up here and challenge us. They're going to make sure that people go down there and tell them, hey, look, up there on that mountain is a monster. And when you climb up it, it eats your head off. No, that's just Bill and Sally. But Bill and Sally ain't, you know what I mean? They're not worried because when these stories get out here, they know people are going to hoo-hoo and they're going to run and tell it to other people. And they'll never have to worry about somebody climbing up the mountain. And then you have to make sure you have things set in place just in case somebody get thrown off a little bit and say, fuck this, and they want to kill themselves by going up the mountain. You got to have stuff that deters them along the way. So you put armies and all this stuff in between yourself and those people. It's all about survival. So when people are selling you an idea, whether it's politics that's rooted in polarization or religion, also rooted in polarization, whatever it is, their thing is they just want to survive. When will you realize that? That's the question. And what will you do with that realization if you ever reach it?
That's deep. That's deep. Mm-hmm. And you just said something too that made me click on some other stuff that I was doing research on that Doc said about that 24 frames in a frame, and there's 24 still frames within that second. that you're seeing when you're watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 24 frames within that one frame, but it makes sense with 24, 24, we get into all that, about all the 24s. And so if you only seeing a still frame, so is it real or real? Is it REAL? I mean REAL or is it REAL? Is it only electrical signals? Go ahead.
It's both. It's a real picture. Now you ask me if what's happening in the picture is real. No, but I think people have a hard time of separating, and the brain does this. The brain has a hard time differentiating between the types of stimulus. So there's a stimulus that could be rooted in fallacy, and there's a stimulus that could be rooted in truth. That's where you get the placebo effect. Okay, if I give you a pill and it actually works, it's because it's been programmed to work. But if I condition you that every time you take this pill, it's going to have this type of effect, you actually start tricking the brain into believing this is going to happen when you take the pill. So the brain prepares itself for those types of conditions. You hear what I'm saying? So that means if I pass you a pill and it don't really have those properties in it, your brain starts to still release those chemicals and the endorphins are released. And now you're feeling better. You say, wow, that was working. And I tell you, that wasn't even the real pill. And now you're confused. You see what I'm explaining to you? So people have a hard time setting apart whether something is real or whether something is fake. And then you have to say, well, what is real and what is fake? The atmosphere that's created from the movie, people believe it. That's why you got people crying during the movie. You got people laughing during the movie. You know what I mean? If you really saw, though, the behind the scenes, which most people don't like watching because it destroys the experience for them. If you really saw that, you realize, don't know. Turn the sound down on a movie, especially a horror movie. It ain't even scary no more. It's not even exciting no more. When you start realizing that the soundtrack is gone, the scoring is replaced with silence. Now you're able to look at it without having all of your senses being impressed upon at once, which really is one sense. But even still, if you want to say it like that, you're able to just look at the images. You'll see how fake it is. And then even with that, some people wouldn't be able to. Their brain is not able to. That's why I tell people, be cautious of who you're listening to. Be cautious of who you're following. Be cautious to not follow anybody because, okay, there's a guy that's out here calling himself King Yahweh. People are saying he's Enlil. I don't know why they said that. It got on my nerves.
No, Enlil, they got that from me, man. And look. They look. I said
you started that bullshit.
Yeah. Listen. I'm gonna tell you why I said it, and then I'm gonna let you say what you gonna say because I got my perspective on everything. Right, and everybody say, "Oh, Inky's 7 foot tall." Everybody went up, and it's a lot of stuff going around with that. So what I did is I said, because Doc said that these were real people. You know what I'm saying? These real breathing people. So that means he said that he's seen them. That's what Doc said.
Yeah.
And so we started getting all the pictures in, and then we got the Inky picture in. So I said, man, this right here dude look like Inky. And then what I did is how we were taught is. If I present that first, I'm the first one to present that besides the Inky that Doc presented in the Holy Tablets. And when I'm saying if I present that saying that this guy is an avatar for Inky, right? And it's a lot of other stuff that I can tie into saying, okay, why I say that Inky may be using them as an avatar. But this is my perspective. If somebody say that he not Inky, then that means you know who the real Inky is. Then so produce them, and then we'll go with your Inky. But we're in the time now where we got to show these people. Doc said that these people are real. So we're in a time where we got to show these people. And so I'm saying that that's Inky. And so if you saying that that's not, then show us the real one. Because in alchemy, and all high power alchemists know this, that if you can say a thing is not, then you must know what the real thing is. So if you can say hot is not cold, then you must know, you can say that cold is not hot, then you must know the true exact opposite. You got to know the true and the exact opposite, or you got to know what a thing is not before you can say what a thing is. So if I'm saying coming to you, like when they say to Doc, well, are these pictures real? Because Doc did a whole tape talking about when Doc showed these pictures, when they say, oh, what about the pictures, right? And so that's that's the point I'm dealing with. I'm saying that once I present this dude and say, oh, yeah, this dude avatar for Inky. And you say, oh, well, he not. Well, then show us the real one then. I'm saying if you're going to say it's not, and it's just my perspective, show me the real one. Show me the real one then. Because Doc said that it was real people. And I can show you a whole bunch of stuff of why I say.
Well, I want to make sure you understand that. That's I want to make sure you know what it is before we move forward.
Okay.
What you just said is actually a logical fallacy. You understand that? Meaning it's saying that you're saying that if this person is not able to be shown forth by the person who is saying is not that person, it must mean that your assertion that it is that person is true. Now, somebody might accept that. Somebody like myself is like, that has nothing, the two have actually nothing to do with one another. One can still be searching to see whether or not this is a person and not just believe it is that person. So I'm on a journey of anybody that claims anybody is anybody, or anybody that claims that they are anybody in this day and time, not just show who the people are, prove it. Prove that you are this being. And one of the ways that you can prove that you are Inky is border craft.
Yeah, we got that. We got him calling down crafts. All
no. I'm not talking about UFO sighting. I said border craft. You're Inky. What would you have to worry about?
Yeah.
Board it. You know what I'm saying?
You saying that to Yahweh, or you telling me to tell Yahweh to prove that?
You can DM him. I don't know. My thing is this: he can listen. Border
we got him calling down crowds. We got him shade shifting his eyelids to a reptilian.
That's fine. Look what I'm saying. All of that is fine. What I'm saying, the parameters that I'm asking for, border craft.
Not so that'll be the next thing. That'll be the next thing. So, hey, so we're gonna hold it on that. So, if we can get him the border craft, then would you say, "Oh, that's Inky"?
I wouldn't know if it's Inky. I would just know that he's able to board a craft.
Okay, all right, cool. We're gonna get back.
And then guess that's what I'm saying, right? Is Anu worried about the government?
What you mean?
Is Inky and Enlil worried about whether or not the government will destroy them?
Well, no, they ain't worried about the government destroying them. I don't think they worried about that.
That's what I mean. The reason why I'm asking that is why wouldn't it just be made clear? And if you're Inky, why are you calling yourself King Yahweh? Call yourself Inky. That's your name.
Yeah, that's a good question, but maybe he was high now. Like it's I don't know all about that. But what I'm saying is that's what I seen in the vision.
And I respect it. I just want you to know that just because you said that doesn't mean that that's the truth. I want you to know that just because a lot of people ran with it doesn't mean it's the truth either. There are a lot of people that, you know how many people look like Jesus? You could pick one of the images and because you're like, which image? Pick one. You know how many people look like Yeshua? Yeah, that doesn't mean that that's who that is. So
that ain't all the reasons why.
I'm trying to figure out why is Inky down here with an Instagram page?
That's a good question. It's a lot of people. Hey, you say that about Doc. See, when you go attacking that, then you had to go after the fact that Doc said he was murdered. And then it's another thing. Doc
has Doc proved that has Doc proved that he's murdered?
To me, yeah. Like,
okay, here's my question to you. How did he prove it? How did he prove it to you?
Because of what all the stuff that he taught, and it's just ain't nobody else that taught it like that.
Okay, so then you would say for sure that's Murdoch.
What I would say is I know for sure that it's just in my spirit, in my heart, I believe that I can say that he's not normal, he's not a regular guy.
There you go.
And I can say this in my spirit that he's that being that he say he is, because it just, man, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It just I know
because you're not done. But y'all are saying it like y'all done. It's not even said and done. You haven't seen him board the craft. You haven't stood there in the presence of these people for them to say, yo, you did well, y'all. We've been watching you. As a matter of fact, we tapped into your live stream. You don't know these things. That's why I'm saying it's okay. Who drew the picture of Inky?
I don't know, but Doc put it out, but I don't like the holy tablets, but I don't know for sure who drew it. Because it could be some brothers there drawing it. Doc
somebody said it was a sister that drew the images.
Okay, a sister that drew it. Okay, but this is what I'm saying about they came out to Doc about the images, and then even the images that I put out about Anu and about the AI images and all that.
Yeah.
To me, ain't nobody else like in this time and in the time we in. Why ain't nobody else produced this?
For one, I would say this, right? If Inky is powerful enough to walk his ass around here in all white and have an Instagram account, he's powerful enough to step forth himself and say, I'm Inky, here's why I'm here. Which, do Inky just show up, y'all? Or do he come with a purpose?
Man, it's a lot of, I got perspectives on that too. Because this dude, I don't know if you watched this dude, but he out in Africa, well, Inky, but they say Inky had the Abzu, and they didn't already crown them over. It's like a whole bunch of stuff going on that I say, man, come on now. Like everything line up with him, with why I say what he Inky. Like over the people, even the people over in that area where the Abzu at, where Inky had the above land and below land. This dude over there, they parade him around. It's like he loved and around the world about the same little areas that Inky was said to have his place at. Like it's like, and it's not just the ships. I'm gonna try to get that him aboard the ship, and then hopefully that we can go.
Yeah, I mean, he can do that. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, what is he here for? Why the fuck is Inky his ass off the fleet down here on Instagram using hashtags? Listen, the more I say, it's gonna make more sense.
I think
Inky is down here.
If Doc was out of jail right now, would Doc be doing Instagram and all that? Yes, Doc was.
I don't know.
Yes,
Doc was talking to. This is who he's talking to, y'all. Did Dr. Melchizedek have to be born?
What you mean? I don't understand.
Was he born?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not Murdoch. What are you talking about? Murdoch wasn't born. Murdoch is Murdoch.
Now,
look what I'm saying. Look what I'm saying before you jump. Did Dr. Melchizedek say different beings come and talk to me at different times to y'all?
So he was an avatar. That's what you're telling me.
Okay, so watch this. If he's an avatar, he was Murdoch, Melchizedek. All right. Noon. Okay, he was different beings. You're telling me that Yahweh or King Yahweh looks like Inky?
No, I'm not just saying that. I'm saying he an avatar. Inky used him as an avatar. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if Inky is using him
just like Murdoch used Doc.
All right, so then this is what I'm explaining to you. If Murdoch used, you know how many people use Pops as an avatar?
Yeah, his brother Tahuti used him sometime. That's why he wrote the Tahuti scrolls.
Now, who is Malachi?
Malachi is my angel.
Yeah, who is he? Who is the one that's in prison?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. Who am I?
Phase one.
Right. Who is Dr. Melchizedek? Dr. Melchizedek. Right. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, here go that psychosis part that I'm explaining. If people are not careful, they'll fall into the realm of that. Inky can't be around here just walking his ass around using hashtags and posting videos and going to the cleaners. Inky always had a job to do according to the stories. So when Inky show up, it's either time to get somebody out of the way for destruction or something to that effect. You ain't just showing up to start you start a social media profile.
Hey, I don't think Yahweh even run that Instagram. I think somebody else got that Instagram. And it's another thing. Do you watch that brother, man, and all the stuff that he's doing? Like all the stuff that he's going around doing?
There we go with the illusion. What does that have to do with
the love and hip hop and all that? I'm talking about, are you watching what
he was on Love and Hip Hop?
Worldwide.
He was on Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop. They say a couple more other things, but I'm saying, are you watching what this brother doing worldwide?
No, I'm not. And let's say I was. I don't have to believe he's Inky. I don't think nobody know that. Listen, okay. Where's Enlil?
I showed a picture of Enlil too.
No, I'm saying, who is Enlil?
Enlil is Inky brother.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, who? Okay, we got Yahweh over here. That's Inky. Who is Enlil?
I showed a picture of Enlil, right? He came down. I think it was they mistaken him as Maitreya. And what we did is we caught him they took a picture of him in a magazine. We actually got that picture of Enlil, and Enlil kind of found out he got a unibrow, and that's that picture. To me that's Enlil, that picture that we got right now. As far as where is he at now? Did he go up or not? Back to Nubaru or not? We don't know that, but I'm saying that picture we got of him, that's a legitimate picture of Enlil. We believe, because because it's the thing. Doc said that they were real people, that they were physical people. He's seen them himself. I got the tape. So somebody gotta
Yeah,
pull
that's
up
what
a
I'm
step
saying.
at this
Okay,
point.
that's the difference. Doc might have seen them in person,
Yeah,
real people.
yeah.
Now, when he said that, like he would have been talking about the person. King Yahweh was not King Yahweh when Pop said that 30 years ago.
Exactly.
So that would have meant King Yahweh was born. You get what I'm explaining to you? And he
Yeah,
grew up.
yeah.
So
But
if he
do
was
people?
born.
That's my next
Go ahead.
question, then, Faye.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So according to the scripture, well, we ain't gonna get into that. But let me just ask you this: can somebody reincarnate from the past? That's a significant reincarnate, like they say Elijah came back as John the Baptist.
If
So
you
can
okay,
somebody from the past that's a significant, like Moses or somebody from the past, come back and incarnate in somebody in another body or somebody else, and they don't even, sometimes they might not even know it. They might say that they somebody else, just like John. John said that he was John. I don't know nothing about no Elijah. They asked him.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him, and then he come to find out Jesus came back later and said that, nah, if you take it, that's Elijah.
Mm.
All right, so can somebody come into this realm and be somebody from the past that we're talking about, like anybody that was big back then? Can that happen?
Okay. I think it's possible. Here's the only thing with that.
Okay.
The thing with that is you would be saying that whoever this person, King Yahweh, is, has likeness unto Enki that takes us back all the way to the Sumerian days, or the ancient Sumerian, ancient Mesopotamian days, meaning that all of the different mixing of the genes is taking place up to this point in time. He held his physical features. His family held their physical features to look exactly how they look, so that he can come out here looking similar to the Enki image, because Enki is a dark-skinned being, for one. And Enki has many different features that I could point out to you according to the picture that do not match Yahweh. Maybe if he shaved, it'll help. It doesn't actually match that being. But let's say that it did. You're telling me that that would have meant that this person held on to all of those features for thousands of years leading up to today, for their parents to finally yield them, and they have a temple, a body that's connected to the genetics of their parents, and somehow that temple is associated with the likeness of a temple of a being that hasn't even been confirmed of thousands of years ago.
I'm not saying look, I'm not saying that that the looks and all that make a difference, even though
I think you did
that's
say that,
true.
because you were like,
Well, the looks, that's true, because
Mhm.
it's people that's walking around right now that look like people from way back then. Like I could pull up and show you. They even bringing people that look like, they say that Obama looked like what's the being name? Duncan. And then they got like Michael Jackson. They got statues of old people that's in the ancient Kemet that look just like Michael Jackson. Or they got statues of people back then that look just like Khufu, like
and you look just like your brother. So okay, there are not too many different types of phenotypes as a human being. So phenotypical, phenotypical resemblance, that doesn't mean that was that being.
That ain't it though.
Go
That
ahead.
ain't it, Faze. That ain't all it's a whole bunch of shit that I came to a conclusion to say, oh, he might be Inky. He might be Avatar.
Okay, I respect that. I respect the he might be Inky thing. I respect that. So here's how I talk to them. Yo, you Inky, you got to show that. Don't just be down here fucking around, because it's shit that's going on. You Inky, why you ain't helping to get pops out if that's Marduk?
That's the next thing that we working with. What is his angle on? Because some people saying, oh, he don't know, he can't be Inky because he don't know Doc is Murdoch. But you just said that Doc ain't Murdoch. So I'm trying to figure out
what. Okay, here's my thing to you. I'm not playing these games. They are. Okay. He put in his hashtags Inky.
Oh no, he did. No.
Yes,
Look,
he did.
No. Somebody look. It's a couple of people that's working.
So okay, so has he come forth and been like, I'm Inky?
To me he has, but
he talked to you on the phone.
Not on the phone, just through messages. I might have to send you some messages.
I'm saying like what platform?
like I believe it's one page that he is the control of, and that's the main one. And so like he ain't. I'll get into that later. But this is the thing. You can be over there saying that it's 2. I can be over here saying that it's 3. Now it's a lot. Like there's a lot of stuff that if you say that's that, then you'll be going against what Pop said.
Just because this is what you have to understand. Just because Pop's taught something don't mean that I'm supposed to believe it.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
go along with it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I keep explaining to y'all that he didn't want believers.
Right.
You cannot confirm what Pops knows. If Pops met these people in person, he met them in person. Pops put these pictures in the Holy Tablets. You don't even know if he drew them. He put the pictures in the Holy Tablets addressing the Sumerian religion along with the Sumerian stories. Also the Muslim religion and the Muslim stories along with the different sciences. There are so many different things. So when people are asking, are the images real? They're asking about images that he may not have even drawn. So he has to explain that you're talking about melanin dominant people at that time. They would have had to be melanin dominant. If he saw Anu face to face, did y'all ask how? Not you. I'm saying, did the people say, how is that possible? Or were they so invested in what he was saying that they was like, yo, and I'm listening to these classes growing up. I know he's real. I saw him. I knew he was a man. I saw him face to face, right?
Yeah,
okay. Nobody was like, yo, how? When? Tell us more about that. Pops will bring something up and they'll go right back to religion.
I don't think you got people, you know what, Two-Face, you're right though, but I think at the time people probably just wasn't ready for that shit. They probably didn't even ask him. When he said it, they probably just blew him off, just like, oh, they're crazy. Let's go back to asking about Jesus.
So right, did you ask? You know okay, not saying that you can get your answer directly from him.
Yeah.
But did you ask or did you think about what that would have meant? Meaning, if you're saying face to face and he's a man, you're talking about 2 physical occurrences. A man is a physical occurrence, and a face-to-face encounter is a physical occurrence.
Yeah.
Where these people are on a craft, a ship,
yeah,
chariot, whatever it was. Here's one. All I'm saying is, I don't get wrapped up in the bullshit because I don't know. Look, there's so many people. Rashard Jamal says he's one of the 23 elders who created the cosmos. Nature Boy says he was the Christ. Young Pharaoh claims to be Tahuti incarnate. Everybody doing that, and I'm like, the only person who I've ever seen make sense of any of this stuff has been in prison while everybody out here doing this.
Right.
So if Enki is aligning with that Sumerian story and he's telling you in any way that he's Enki, your question is, all right, who's gonna reach into the rock to grab out Murdoch? If that's Murdoch.
That's the next thing.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't debate that it's possible. It could be the next thing. My point is, while everybody's cosplaying, I'm literally behind the scenes working on Pops, getting them out, working and dealing with all these different types of energies and making it happen so that he can actually come out. I don't want to debate whether or not somebody is Enki. That's not what I want to do. I don't even care to debate that type of stuff. If Pops is Murdoch, here's what I can say to you. He exhibited such a profound change in reality that I say is interesting enough for me to want to look into further. And what I mean by that is it ain't just whether or not I think he's Murdoch or think he's this person or that person. It's I know this story isn't over. It's not done. But people have moved on like it is. He has to come out. If he is who he says he is, he comes out and he sets that whole record straight on all of that. Other than that, you're not able to determine the shams for yourself unless you've been on one, seen them, talk to these people with his head.
Yeah, I've seen a sham.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I've seen a sham.
Hey, you see, okay, you spoke to the people on them.
No, I hadn't spoke. Well, that's a stipulations on that. But I seen a physical sham in my standing in my yard. I seen it take off from the Air Force Base.
Right, and that I can see that. So that makes sense, right? So then you have the experience of having a sight of that.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it, how I was spinning. I seen it how it took up. It went up real slow. Then it said boom. It just like disappeared.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
And
that's
it was
my
during
thing,
the time
right?
that George W.
If it was
Bush.
leaving the Air, why was it at the Air Force base?
I don't know, but it was the same time when 9/11 was happening. It was the same time at 9/11 had happened. My homeboy had just got shot like 2-3 days before that. It was like right around 9/11. And then they was talking about George W. Bush was going to that Air Force base, right? That same day. And then all of a sudden I was standing in New York. It was about maybe had to be about 8 o'clock. And I saw it get up. I said, "Damn!" And look, at this time, I never even knew. I haven't never ran into Dr. York and the. I swear to God, I never seen the know about the shams or none of that. I had seen it way before I knew what it was. I just couldn't. I just said it was a UFO. But then when I saw what Doc was talking about with the shams, I said, "Damn, that's what that craft was that left from the Air Force base. It was a sham." And I said, "Damn, that's deep." The light on the bottom, it looked just like how they described it, just like the pictures they showed from the Gulf Breeze of the crowd, that same exact crowd with the black and gold with the little chop on, all it.
So I hear you, and that makes sense. I just don't want people to get caught up in the woo-woo of all this. Like I heard Pop say, "Yo, people saying that's El Kidder, that's Melchizedek. You know what I mean? He's gonna be all right." He said they forgot about the man. I heard him say this. He said they forgot about me, the man. Yeah. All this Murdoch, Melchizedek, all this other stuff. What about the man that's in there? Where it's like, okay, this doesn't even make sense to me. If I even thought that was Murdoch, let's say I think that's Murdoch. Let's say I think that's Melchizedek. Let's say if you're telling me you're aligned with that story and you think that that's him, then this person may have something to do with your salvation from the planet Earth, right? Or this person, listen, you might be saying Marduk, but what if he's Anu now? You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
That goes next. Because the chairs musical chair, the chairs, he rotates to the next 10th Anu. And then after him, the 11th one, based on the calculations, would be Haru after Murdoch. Murdoch would reign as the 10th Anu.
So here's my question.
We heard that perspective. Yeah, we heard that.
Right. See, we got perspective, right? We got the story, right? Yeah. We in a story right now. He's in the pyramid right now. If that's Marduk, listen to me close. He's in the pyramid right now. He's been framed just like Marduk was.
Yep. Exact story.
Like in the Dark City movie where they framed him. And they named the main character Murdoch. Right? Yeah. Okay. So then all of these people who calling him that, all these people who are aligning with that story, why isn't it that their main focus is getting them out?
Now, if you go read that story on Doc said love was gonna get him out, and we could go into all them perspectives because I tried everything, man. And I got one more move, and we ain't gonna get into that. We'll talk personally on that. But that storyline, Murdoch got trapped into the pyramids. And the only way he got out is, I think, Inky them and Tahuti them busted him out.
Yeah, I think Anu did it. Anu was the one who did it.
No. Anu, Tahuti them busted him out, but Anu gave the approval to leave him alone. Because Anana and Enlil and was his nephew Nertu, that's Enlil's son. And even his brother Nergal, he was against him and they was trying to bomb him while he was trapped in this pyramid. And to murder and news came down and said leave him alone. And that's when Tahuti and them went and then created that hole and to get him out the pyramid. Tahuti is his brother.
What do you mean created the hole?
Like they created some kind of like this. He was trapped in a pyramid, so they had to dig in there a certain type of way and create a shaft to get it. They pulled them up through the shaft. That's how the storyline that they give. Yeah, they pulled Murdoch, Tahuti and them pulled Murdoch out through this shaft, right? And so that's how he got out. But you was right. Anu did come today and say leave him alone. Leave him alone but it was the family had turned against the Enlil side had turned against Murdoch because they had thought that he was responsible for his little brother's death, Damuzi, who in some they call him Osiris, right? And so that's why Inanna was hating him because she thought that he had something to do with Damuzi getting took out. And so she was They were bombing them. Look, these people had helicopters and like this according to what the story is, right? They had like what they call the Black Hawk. They had these type of crabs. They had these special type of crabs, and they were bombing Murdoch. These Anunnakis, they had like the missiles and shit like that they got. These Anunnakis had that, and they were bombing them in that pyramid. And like I say, eventually a nude come down and let him. And he had 3 different names because when he got trapped, that's when they started calling him. When he went on the hiding after that murder, or after that's when they started calling him Murdoch and all that. Really, but after that, the murder of his brother Osiris or Damuzi, he went on the hiding where he came over to where he went down to Australia, which it was called a land, the great land below. And that's when they set up all them pyramids and things, him and Tahuti, and they start calling them Amen, because Amen, Atun, Amun is all really the same being, right? That's just the different names that Murdoch had during the different phases, right? But this is a storyline. You might heard another storyline.
So my thing is, okay, with all of that, he's asking where his help is at in this day and time. He's saying, yo, why everybody, you know what I mean, forgot about me? Why they abandoned me? You know, I helped everybody out. Right now, where are my helpers? He's saying he's 80 years old. He's saying, yo, what's up? We need to get this in motion. That's what he's saying. While all of this is going on, that's what I'm saying. Not no disrespect to your claim of somebody being inky. My thing is, I'm not in position to give a damn about anybody calling themselves anything. Somehow, I haven't called myself any of these people. My intention is to help Malachi. Whatever y'all call him, my intention is to help him because I know that everybody is speaking and regurgitating from him. And we all were put on by him of what to do in life and figure this out. So I don't know how we think we're going to be able to figure the rest of it out by ourselves. A lot of people are left in this frenzy of confusion, y'all, and we don't know how it ends. We don't even know where to go. And Pop said that. He said, our people are waking up fast, but they walking in circles. They don't know where to go. I just want to ask, am I the only one who's going to admit that this is not going to work without Dr. Melikazi York, no matter how we try to shift it and put it? No matter who these guys are, whatever, they're not doing what he did.
It's the next question, Faise.
Go ahead.
And to add to that, you know, back then when that was happening, when they trapped Murdoch in the pyramid, one of the beings that were trying to help him was Haru. Haru was the one. Haru even lost his eye fighting against his mother, going against his mother to take sides with Murdoch. Yeah. But this is another thing. This is a question I got for you. How can we help Doc right now? Like, I tried to send people money that they said they was connected. You know, I tried to get in touch with people that said, hey, helping Doc, what do you need? What can I help you with? You know, and it seems like I'm always dead ended. Like, somebody that trying to be a fraud, and they ain't doing shit. They just getting it on their own. So it's like, what can we do right now to help Doc? Because I've already been clearing his name and, you know, letting motherfuckers know, hey, they lied on Doc. But what else can we do right now to help Doc? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to tell you, first of all, I just want to say I love you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that's clear. And I really do appreciate love and thank you for asking that question. And I've watched and I've seen. It's a very difficult question to answer because of how many different angles this is coming from. I'll do my best. I've seen where you done multiple times attempted to help here and help there, and as soon as you help over here, somebody dragging your name through the mud. Now you're going over here, somebody dragging your name through the mud. Listen, for everybody, diligence. You cannot let up. They done, listen, it ain't even the government. Be clear on this. The government is not keeping Dr. Melikazi York in prison. Anybody that's telling you that, they're lying. All 2024, I went through all the different offices, houses, everything. And I dealt with these people face-to-face, one-on-one, phone calls, whatever. It is not the government. I've interviewed these people. It's them. You got to hear me. It's them. And just like you asked, you say, yo, can somebody download it to your wife and get them to do this and da da da. Listen, because so many have strayed from Nuwapu, they lost sight of the ability to maintain a psychic self-defense. And as soon as you get to, it don't matter what the door is or what the gate is. As soon as you get to the door or to the gate, you think that this person that's been walking with you is really into getting him out. Then you turn, you put the key, you about to put the key in the gate. You about to do the thing, and they snatch the keys from you. And you like, yo, what the fuck? Right? Give me the keys, stop playing. You think they playing. They're not playing. They're serious. And you're like, do you understand that what you're doing right now isn't affecting me? You're not doing this to me. You're doing this to him. And then you step back and realize this is what they have been doing to him. Anytime somebody gets close enough to actually help Dr. Malachi York before me, I want to make sure that's clear. They ran them away. They scared them away. They slandered them away. Oh, but how you going to run somebody away bigger than you? How you going to slander away somebody where if I press live right now, we can get thousands of people to come in and we'll get the truth put in order right then and there. So what they tried to do was with me is manipulate me. They thought I was stupid. I don't know why. They tried to manipulate me. And if they couldn't keep me in the money pocket, they tried to keep me in the dependent on the middleman pocket where I got to keep coming to them. And then they thought they were doing something. This is how interesting it gets. They thought they were doing something when I challenged and said, yo, why is so quiet? If y'all really helping, we supposed to be able to hear what's going on. What's going on? Also not taking into consideration that I heard all the times Dr. Malachi York asked him, remember when I told you to do this and you didn't do that? How many times I'm asking y'all to do this, y'all didn't do that? I told y'all to work together, y'all didn't want to do that. So now we got this to deal with. Why am I still sitting here? He has questions for them. You want to know what they have? They do a good job of ignoring his questions. They don't answer when he asks, yo, what's up with this? What's up with that? They start imposing their own will on something and making excuses. You understand what I'm explaining to you? So I've seen where these people will, after they think that they can't use you no more, they try to turn everybody against you. All right. Or they'll make a statement like Iris Hamilton did. And she's like, yo, that's fine. We just going to seal up our mouths. Ain't nobody telling you nothing else. Excuse me, Iris, you weren't telling anybody anything unless they were able to pay you money. If you could leverage money for your rent or for whatever you had going on, oh yeah, then you were recording Pop's audios and you were selling them like CDs. As long as you could leverage his voice and people were looking at you like you were this powerful person because you were talking to Dr. Malachi York or the master, then it was cool. The moment that those people ain't moving in your best interest anymore, meaning you can use them, then it becomes you slandering them or you putting them down or, oh, I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing else. You were never the one who made it be that I could hear Dr. Malachi York's voice. It was my due diligence. You have to be diligent. You can't stop, no matter who I'm talking to right now. You can't stop because it's the one you think you work with. They might turn on you in a hot second. You got to be ready to be composed enough to know that, because you might have to put. Listen, when Dr. Malachi York said put your personal feelings to the side, he meant that, because somebody might disrespect you, young, and then you like, damn, this nigga disrespected me, or damn, she disrespected me. We put in that position where we ain't out to disrespect nobody, but they'll disrespect us or handle us any type of way. And you really still have to be able to maintain composure because you're thinking bigger. You're thinking we still got to get this done. They're not thinking that.
Hey, it seemed like to me, Faise, every time we got close to getting Doc out, we had Avenue. Somebody ran them off, like, and then it's like they put every time we got close, they put somebody on us to see how far we was to stop us. Because even with the Mama Rabbit thing,
they put Basil on y'all.
Somebody ran them off.
They put
started talking crazy to her, huh?
I said they put Duswa on y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Boom. And then even the second time got more because Mama Rabbit got hustling that whole deal too. So even the second time when we going back again, and it's like they put this person on them, so that they can deter or block what they possibly can get him out. Why are these people so afraid of Doc getting out? And why are these
here's
people
what I'm
so
saying.
afraid, man?
It's not even afraid, because some people are. It's not all of them though. Here's what it is, y'all. It's everybody keep failing in the test. There are many tests, MANY and MINI. People keep failing the tests. Whereas like, yo, okay, here go the opportunity on the table. Are you willing to sacrifice your ego? Are you willing to sacrifice who you think you are and all this other stuff? And most of the time they're not. So then they think they know everything. They think they know, oh, this got to go this way. Because they come from this school or that school over here. That they think they know that, but then it's like you get them in the center and they don't know what to do when they're in the center. So they don't understand. You're talking to me because you really do need to know what to do. But they start seeing you as a little person because of whatever their status is. Oh, I've been here, I've been this, and then you got this. People are running to Dr. Malachi York with different narratives. They think we stupid, like we don't know that. They run into him with different narratives. Everybody trying to beat their way to Dr. Malachi York to see if they can get his favor first. And favor has a lot of weight in a community like this, especially when people are, again, under just the psychosis, which they were never supposed to be. He didn't want people under that. They're under the spell, which they were never supposed to be. They're worshiping. They were never supposed to do that. They want the religion. So it's that religious aspect that people are milking and taking advantage of. And everybody wants to throw around, I'm this, I have this seat, and I'm one of these, and Okay, if you're that, well then why, with those seats and those positions and one of these is, have y'all not got them out yet? And I'm telling you, young, there's, like I said to people, it's true. Since May 8, 2002, he did not have to be in there for longer than a year if people would have worked together. So if you're asking me what y'all need to do to help him, first of all, start using your own brain. And I'm talking especially to the Nuwapians and those who call themselves Sabaeans now also. Y'all have to use your own brain. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I placed myself in positions to be able to hear him speak. Even now, when messages are coming through, I'm aware of what it is he's actually saying. And what these people come and tell y'all contradicts what he says. So use your own brain. Don't believe anybody and keep walking. Walk close. Because keep watching. I'm building things up. Walk close with me. I've never taken up a dime in Dr. Malachi York's name. You know that. And one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, is because I never heard him say it's a go. They say this, they say that, they say I don't care. I wasn't raised that way. And every time I divert and go away from that, I start realizing why. You start realizing these people pocketed this, or these people started to build a club over here, and I say, where's the money going? You start seeing that these people's lives, their lifestyles are being funded by what they're saying they're using to help Dr. Malachi York. So what I would tell y'all to do, research the case, do your due diligence, and walk with me. That's the best. Listen, walk with me is the main thing I would tell people right now, because I'm up on these people and I'm not going nowhere. I'm up on them. So when I hear something Pop say, I'm gonna let you know that he's saying it without saying Dr. Malachi York said this. There are things that I'm gonna tell y'all that he says, right? So that you can, if you at least hearing me say certain things, it aligns with what he's saying, even down to the Nuwapi and Sabaean thing. He's saying certain things they're not telling y'all. And it got to be a reason for that. Maybe it's for business or whatever it is. I don't give a damn. If he keep pushing Nuwapi, okay, well, then it's a reason he's doing that. And they're pushing Sabaeans, it's a reason they're doing that. And you pay attention to the different energies right now associated with the truth, you start realizing, yeah, that's ether, as they call it, or that atmosphere. It's a reason for that atmosphere being there. So I would tell you, y'all keep walking with me. You know I'm going to let you know what's going on. Yep. Now, I would advise you on this. No matter what happens, y'all, no matter what happens, because I'm talking directly to you and also other people, y'all are going to experience it in different ways. No matter what happens, you have to keep walking, because somebody might speak out and disrespect you. You hear me? Yeah. You can't hear them. You got to hear Dr. Malachi York. That's when they people hitting up people say, yo, don't work with him. He just want to know information. Yeah. You can't hear that. You got to hear, oh, this person got to be an enemy. They got to be an op, because you know for sure that you want to help Dr. Malachi York and people are trying to remove you. That's an op. That means you
Man,
can't even be
it's
wrapped
too
up in.
many.
Go ahead.
Even the people that rigged Doc's case, that's like, you know, the Ashley A. Royals and the list, right?
Yeah.
They are mostly retired and all this. So it's like to me, it's a certain group that when they hear about you trying to get Doc out, they say, "Oh well, if you trying to get Doc out and you won't go through us, then you ain't really doing nothing." And then when you go through them, it's like they take and scatter whatever you was doing.
There you go.
And I was like, "What the hell is going on? Why would
There
they do
you
that?" They
go.
say, "Why would they do that?"
That don't make sense,
They
do it.
trying to stop us from getting him out.
There you go. That don't make sense, do it, because people trying to be rich forever. So here's what I tell you. This is what I would say walk with me for. Y'all don't have to. I'm not Dr. Melakazi, or I'm not no successor. I'm not none of that, okay? The reason why I'm saying walk with me is because I ain't going to let them do it to me. Simple. They done try to do it to everybody before me. When they got to me, they realized, wait a minute, I snuck up on them for one. They didn't know where I came from. So a lot of them came to me, all right, and some I went to and found myself. They ain't here now. I'm telling you, they ain't here now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let y'all do it to me. You got a war on your hands. You can't do it to me. We fighting to the end. We're going to war. We're gonna do these works until he walking up out of there. Simple. So as long as y'all have that type of mentality, I'm not saying do things without thinking about repercussions and consequences, because they exist. I'm not saying just be out here lashing out against people. Stop with this war between the Wapians and Sabians. That's not what it's about. It's about understanding which atmosphere applies to which. That's what it's about. And when you start seeing people act like goats and lesser like beings, stay away from them, whether they claim to be Nuwapians or Sabians, whatever it is. And you work with the people who really want to do the works to get them out. 2025 will be focused all on that. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't want them out because they're making money off of them, or they were put there to monitor the organization, as they call it. I don't like calling it that. Monitor the family, right? They're put there to monitor for life. And they're on payroll for life.
Damn.
And people have to understand the government ain't sitting there with their foot on Dr. Melakazi York's head.
They not.
The people that a lot of people have been sending money to, all this other stuff, they're the ones who got vendettas against him. They're blackmailing him, all this other stuff. And I mean that in a way that there's not even nothing on the other side of that envelope. They're just doing it because, all right, some people, I won't say too much right now. All I'm going to say is this. I know more than I let off about this. I'm not going nowhere. I saw what happened. I was around my aunt Tara Bodie. You know what I mean? My Omi Tefnut was around. Bodie was around. I've seen certain things. I heard certain things. I remember people when I was children. Now I done grew up. And they didn't know that this was going to happen. I'm the anomaly. The platform is too big to ignore now. You understand? So it's like, okay, y'all, that's why they started getting more nervous and cautious, especially when I start working with certain people. Okay, let me give you an example without saying no name right now. You working with the main person Dr. Melakazi York is talking to? Oh, we got to find out what's going on with that. And we got to find out quick. Let me tell y'all something in front of everybody. You ain't finna find out shit. We got it on lock for a reason, because we know you're coming to find out so that you can fuck it up. Your whole goal is to sabotage. We know that. Are you fucking silly? You can't be that silly. Oh, no, so many people work for silly. Silly as Sheriff Seals. You can't be that sillified to think that we're stupid enough to let you in on what's moving, knowing that you sabotaged every single thing that was moving to help him since 2002. So we in that end game, y'all. This ain't no speech. This is reality. We're in the end game. I literally am on the phone making the calls. There's things coming that's supposed to be in motion soon to help him out. All these other people trying to get in don't have nothing to do with us. And then what's going to happen is you're going to watch. If you're walking with me, you'll see me do it. I'll put y'all on point about what's going on. Updates. And they won't have nothing to do with what's going on, the motion to get them out. Anybody speaking against the motion, that's the ones that you watch out for. If they say anything against phase one, you don't got to listen to me. I'm just telling you. Any of the Nuwapians or Sabians who speak out against phase one, them the devils. It's that simple. Any of these people say, oh, they ain't supposed to be working together, they messing it up, they get in the way of things. That's a devil. Right. Because they're telling y'all that, and on the other side of the screen, Dr. Melakazi York is saying something totally different. Right. You with me? So that's what it is. Hey,
That's how you can
thank you.
spot them when they say something other than what Doc say. That's how you can know who they working with. That's how you can spot them. Say, okay, if he heard Doc say that,
come on,
and then they go out like they heard him say word for word, and then they go out, and then
and
they don't got
twisted.
no sound right and reasoning to why they said other than what he said. See, it's
They've been doing that. They've been doing that. They've been doing it. It's too many people with brains. It's too many people with credentials and too many scholars and too many. They love to tell you what they are and what they do for him to still be in there, but they just won't work with one another. I'm telling you, that's what it is. No matter what it is, we can't get people to work together.
With all the evidence we got, everybody in they dog should know now. Doc I mean, so like only thing that would be holding them in there is the people. Anybody that comes to stop us when we try to get him out. Anybody that's coming to stop you when you're trying to go and get him out. If you're doing something, it don't matter if it don't got nothing to do with them. If they want to get involved, they say, "Oh, well, you say you helping them, and you ain't came to me. You ain't involved me. Then you must not be helping them." Then come to find out, they the goddamn one that's stopping them.
They trying to get the glory. And here go the thing. What Pop said. He said everybody wants the trophy. Everybody wants the trophy, like the student of the month sticker to say, "I got him out." I don't want that. I just want him out. I see what's going on. I see how y'all try to do him. Like, I want him out of there. So I don't want y'all can have that shit. You don't even got to put my name on nothing. That's not what it was about. It was just the fact that I had to become too big for y'all to ignore. I had to become too big for y'all to combat. You know, you can't just wrong me because I'm a run tell.
Right.
So they try. A lot of people just took their hands off. Now they whispering in the background like we can't. Like they don't come tell me what the fuck y'all saying. Yeah. So they know they can't fuck with it because fuck with it if you want to. Text me anything. I'm gonna screenshot it, let the world see. Send me a message. Go ahead. Because I already got on. I'm gonna put a file on everybody. I'm gonna let it be known what y'all were trying to do behind the scenes. They know they can't fuck with that. So it's like, okay, cool. They trying to stay out the way. And a lot of people, they trying to act like they still got the power. Pop been revoked their power. Yeah. So some people still trying to hold on to something that don't even exist no more. And the nation don't know. Pop been said, yo, shut them down. They ain't supposed to be talking about this shit. Da, 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 woo, woo. And they don't know how Pop really be talking. They like, oh, you shouldn't cuss. Da, da, da. Pop literally be like, no, I'm not rocking with that. Fuck that. Yeah. He would literally be like, fuck that. You feel me, young?
That's Murdoch, nigga.
Okay. That's probably why you that's probably why you align with me. That's probably why you align with that science. Yeah. Because we're not trying to put on. Yeah. Even the sister Waki was like, yo, she said, watch out for the ones who try to be all peace, love, and light. She said, them be the devils. Yeah. Them be the ones who trying to put on this shit. Yeah. As long as you know me, you ain't seen me come on this show dressed like no Sabi and none of this stuff. Yeah. Right now I got on a Mason hat and a blue hoodie, right? Yeah. They don't know Pops. And that's funny because it's like if you were to know more about who you are and what you do, you'll understand more about him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But people trying to put on, again, they go that mirror effect. They're just trying to mirror him. Y'all don't know him. And I'm not saying I know him like how his children know him.
I heard a lot of stories. Go ahead. I heard a lot of stories from the old heads about stuff that Pops used to do, and they was like, "Damn, Pops did that." It was like, "Yeah, Pops did that." You know, it was like he said, like they say they saw him coming out of the store one day. He had a bag of chips and a grape soda, and he was eating. He was like, "Damn, like you gonna like Doc eating the grape soda?" He's like, "Yeah, man. So you got to eat this every now and then because if the time come where if you don't eat it and then you have to eat it, your body can go into shock." Yeah, so yeah, he was always. Had some right then. It was like they said that they saw him. Somebody said, "Oh yeah," they said that they was out there teaching one day, and then he said some curse words, and they was like, "Damn, Doc just cursed." And they said they went around like, "Oh shit, like it's cool because Doc just cursed, man." So we can say like it was like you know how you like throw a rock into a pond and they go like it's throw like a ripple.
Yeah, and it's like this. You start realizing really. Who sometimes people are just attracted. There's different ways you can interpret it and see it for what it is. Also, some people are just attracted to the disagreeable things. They think it's disagreeable anyway. So he cussed, but now they cussing like, oh, I can cuss. You supposed to be cussing if you actually cuss. Yeah, if that's who you are, you're supposed to be doing. The fact that you're trying to cloak it, you became a disagreeable. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was told this. People would go and get some food. And they would try to be holy with it. So they'll get, you know what I mean, like some vegetables and and some water, whatever. They'd probably be like, let me get a steak, medium rare. Right? And then it was said that they were like, people were shocked that he was ordering that. Yeah. But he said he would do that just to fuck with people, like just okay, because why you try to be all you ain't that ain't even how you are for real in life. You trying to do that because you're around me. Who are you? And then he probably wouldn't even touch the state. But he did that. Like people, my thing is this. You have to get out of the TV realm and come back home. Come back to reality. Back to life. Back to reality. The reality is Dr. Malachi Z. York is in prison and doesn't have to be.
That's facts.
He's innocent. He will come out. We have to do the work. It's just that simple. And the work was never money. When Iris Hamilton attempted to get Dr. Malachi Z. York to tell me where to send money to, she was like, yo, he want to send money. He got a big following, da-da-da-da. He want to know where he send money. He said, yo, again, this is what the Williams thing. He said, that's already paid for. He said, but people still trying to get people to send money up there. Right? He said, this going on over here, that's already paid for. The paper's already filed. There's no more money needed for that. He said, tell him to take that money. He said, if he has money, tell him to take that money and get a better video.
That's right.
Get better production. This is literally what he said. Right. He said, because he's helping to spin that message. He's reaching people out there in the hip hop world.
That's right.
Right? So he was saying, listen, people might think, oh, that's crazy. You would say that Dr. Malachi Z. York told you to take the money and invest in yourself. That's what Dr. Malachi Z. York told people to do.
That's right.
Because so many people came to me and told me he told them that before he went in. So when it was my turn, it wasn't no different. He'll deal with certain people a certain way. So he like, yo, take that money and invest in your career. Basically saying, don't let these people rob you.
Pretty much.
That's what he was saying. Don't let them rob you. Same way somebody said, yo, Pop said, I got a lot of friends out there. Y'all don't know who they are because y'all just gonna try to take money from them.
Yeah, I wish I could have heard Pop say that before I got took for 15 grand.
You gotta take money. And they got you on the phone. They were trying to get, I said, damn, and they try to get you on the phone, right? After they disrespected you, right? Yeah. And was like, yo, you got a big following, can't you just see if you just raise the money? It don't fucking work like that. Yeah. We ain't just trying to just raise no money for no fucking reason. No, and people money still matter. Go ahead.
I said we're trying to get that money was to help Pops get out or help him get a better, get some supposed to be or something, get a better situation.
And they lied. They lied and they used you, and that's not okay. And they've been doing that. So I understand that. Again, that's a good question. The simplest answer is keep walking with me because I'm close enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
And there are good things in motion that I'm able to bear witness to. I'm not going to be able to say it all right now. And just notice, I haven't asked for no money for Pops. I never did that. No. So if I ever do, it's because I got the okay to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's the best. And again, it's not saying that that's the help, just sending money, because there may be other things that people are called upon to do. As of right now, ain't no money needed. Because as far as I'm seeing, ain't no money been asked for. Because as far as I'm seeing, the only way money gonna be asked for is when, Pops, who raised me, as in intellectually raised me, as a spiritual father, as some people may call it, he not gonna make no move until you answer his questions. So he ain't gonna just say, yo, that's why one of them like, yo, Pops said support Williams. I said, how did he say it? They couldn't answer. Because he ain't just gonna be like, yo, support Williams.
No.
Well, that don't even make sense. He still was asking questions while people were saying they were collecting money. He was still asking, what's up with this? What's up with that? But they got so many different angles that they coming at Pops with. He got to deal with so many different people. That's why we can't speak on so many different things. Because if you speak on this a certain way, they're going to run to him and either they're going to attack him with it, all right? They're going to try to sabotage something, or they're going to spew more confusion, say, why'd you say this? Why'd you say that? And then he's going to have to deal with the fact that the reason why he had to say certain things a certain way is to try to keep the confusion down. Yeah. When all these people gonna move how they want to move anyway. That makes sense. So let's just we're gonna keep walking. Yeah. And I'm in touch with you, y'all.
Yeah, man. Look, whatever you need, man. Like if you need to come on, whatever you need. Like it's like whatever Doc need. Cause we did try a lot of shit. It's like, I know these people ain't that powerful. Like, so it's like, okay. So whenever I got into doing my own research, I'm coming to find out, like you said, the suckers that's keeping them in there is the people, ain't the government.
It's his family, it's the people around. the people who was there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And
crazy.
they're afraid.
Niggas been
And they're
setting niggas up.
afraid. They are afraid that if when he get out, he gonna say, "Oh yeah, I know what you did." They're ashamed for Doctor know that he know that they was on that paperwork.
Yeah.
That some of them were that was sleeping in the bed with him were turned on them.
Yeah, that's why one of his sons was like, he gonna get out and he gonna expose everybody.
Yeah,
it ain't over. They think it's over. So they know who they dealing with. Yeah. So we close. That's all I'm saying. We close. Yeah. Y'all keep walking. Hold on to the rope. And don't believe nobody. These people liars. I'm telling y'all that now. Don't even believe nobody. And I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm just saying I grew up around these liars. I grew up around these devils. I've seen what they do. I've seen what they will do. And this is not a Nuwapian. This is no longer a Nuwapian thing. All right, this fighting to get them out. It ain't the Nuwapian nation. It ain't the Sabaean nation. It's not that. We will, if we come to anybody, have to come to the people who never probably even heard of them until they either met me or Young Elder or whatever. These are newer people that actually love them. Yeah. And not just love, they're passionate about them. And they'll put that energy forth in real deal works. That's why I tell people, go watch that Hurricane movie, The Hurricane. Watch that again if you haven't seen it.
The new one that just came out.
No, The Hurricane is with Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah, watch that because that's Dr. Malachi York's story. You know what I mean? Give or take a few numbers on the sentence, all of that. As far as like when he coming out, because he come out this year. He will come out this year, and a lot of it isn't dependent upon the people who are watching us move. A lot of it is dependent upon the people who are making the moves. If we can just keep people centered, that's what I'm dealing with. Right. Because they get triggered by certain things, like, yo, just stay centered. Let's just get the work done. And then all the other stuff y'all can deal with. I don't want nothing to do with all the other stuff anyway. I just want to help him get out. And then he come home. And like I told people, if there are more things for me to do, if he want me to do certain things, whatever it is, I'll align with that. I have no problem with that. Other than that, my main focus is him coming out.
Yeah, I want
to even when we come on here and do these shows.
Yeah, I want to know what like after so long, like it's been what, like 20-something years, and then people like Chuck Morgan and like how do you got to be getting paid? Like I don't see no other way. I can hate if I hated a nigga, even the nigga that if a nigga killed my mother and got away with it, and he's still living. And I wouldn't spend 20 years saying I'm on this and that, just going after the nigga, right? It's just it's like what have a nigga done to you to where you gotta spend your whole essence, like your whole everything about your life is this
gotta
guy.
Be based on trying to discredit him. And then when one of the brothers stepped to him on Clubhouse, like, yo, nigga, was you around for any of the stuff you saying that he did? Yeah. He was like, no. He said, but now, your goofy ass got some shit on your profile picture saying he guilty. You saying he guilty, but you never was around for none of this shit, but you just talking. Boom. So what the fuck is your purpose? And so we deal with them. So this is what I call the apparent or the obvious enemies or the obvious opposition. It's not the obvious opposition. It's the ones you don't expect. That's all I'm doing my best to show people. Because I don't wear as soon as they know they're in trouble, or they either in trouble or they got the help they've been looking for when I show up. They know that. And I can tell because I show up so quick, they're not able to catch themselves fast enough, you know what I mean, to not reveal who they are. Right. It's not the obvious ops. It's the ones you don't even expect. Right. And it's just like you said, Young, if they don't got that psychic self-defense, they can be impressed upon. They can have what they call them walk-ins. Next thing you know, they doing something that will shut down the motion. Yeah,
they don't know what they're doing. Somebody else, a parasite or some demonic energy controlling them to work against us for the dark side. Because the dark, even though the dark it's supposed to be a balance, the dark is trying to keep constantly trying to keep it unbalanced. That's part of the law. It's constantly trying to keep it unbalanced. That's how it works. So it's going constantly a battle. And if you think for 1 second you ain't battling something, then that's where you gonna mess up it. You always battling something. It's trying to stay away from something. whether it be the devil. You always get tests and temptations in this world, in this realm. But that equals growth, because resistance equals growth. It's something that's always pressuring you and trying you and tempting you, and then you overcome it, then you grow from it. At least you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Niggas supposed to grow from the mistake. Some niggas do the same test over and over again though. What's that phase? What's that where niggas do the same? Hey, they go to the store, still he get caught. He go to the store again, he get caught.
We
Then he
call
go
them
back to
niggas
the
crazy. That's crazy. Or they say insane. That's a crazy. He caught in a loop. And the thing about it is just what you said. Is that's that jihad factor. You're gonna have to build up resistance and keep fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning when you figure out that this is something that's holding you back or suppressing your potential, which becomes kinetic, you have to keep up that resistance, build up the resistance to be able to further oneself, so you don't have to deal with that type of suppression anymore. Yet when you got ego driving, or when you're what's called ego driven, it's hard to turn the mirror on self. It's hard to deal with self and be like, this is why I'm not able to move forward. And if you can't look at self and be like, yo, I could be the devil in this regard. If people are not able to do that, they think that they're never in the wrong. And then it becomes just about them and what they want, Next thing you know, they done tore the whole thing up, and now they don't have no place to stay. You know what I mean? Now they done messed up their foundation just because they were ego driven. So I'm not saying it's something that I haven't gone through. I'm saying I'm actually kind of shocked that at 26 years old, I figured out that that's what holds a lot of people back. That I'm dealing with people 40, 50 years old, and they haven't even begun to understand that. And that's shocking to me, when I thought we were raised up so that we could figure things out like that.
Right.
So ain't nothing. It's so beautiful. This ain't no bad. You know what I mean? It's so beautiful because it's that time. We know, everybody knows it's time for him to walk out. Everybody knows why it's so much in the air right now. And I'm just grateful to have lived up to what I told my homie I was going to do at 5. I'm like, yo, I'm going to fight. And I lived up to it. And now we're here. And I'm not letting go of this. You can call me whatever, say whatever you want to say. Soon as people figure out they can't use you, or you're not under them, or they're not a part of your games, then they got to attack you. Y'all can do all of that 1,000 times over. And I'm telling you, I'm holding on to the rope and I'm not letting it go. Simple.
Hey, I think this year, being this is a year, to me, this is the year of truth. I think Jacob York gonna come out clean this year and tell exactly how it all went down. I think Jacob York gonna come out clean, because Jacob York could really change the game.
The whole, exactly.
If Jacob York come out and tell his part and he gone, and then like Doc already forgave him. Doc forgave him already. If Jacob York, and he said nobody touch him. He told nobody don't touch him. If Jacob York could come out and this year, this is a year of truth, and tell that truth that he's already been forgiven for, that would change the game, man. You know.
Okay.
Everything.
So the person who somebody asked, I'm looking at the comment now. Okay. Somebody asked, why don't you get the president to pardon him? I'm not gonna say too much. What I will say is, a lot of these types of things depend upon the person themselves. So if, let's say, for instance, I'm in a situation and I want, to go this route, something telling me not to say much, so I'm not, because then it would be talking about things that's going on that other people are trying to figure out right now. So I'm not going to say too much. What I will say is, it depends on the person a lot of times. It's not that is, you got people who have stronger brains than what you think. You know what I mean? So you might think that they're just like, oh, they desperate and they just trying to, that's not their type thinking sometimes. You get what I'm explaining? So they not on some, they might be on another thing where it's like, no, because if we do that, that's that. No, we doing this, da-da-da. You never know. So my point is, it's an option. It's something that can be looked into. That doesn't mean that at the end of the day, that's something that that person wants. So it would depend on whether or not that person wants that. Simple.
All right. All right, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. We about 2
I was gonna
hours.
say, do you want to take some questions real quick? I
Oh
don't
yeah,
mind.
well, we can take some questions. We'll take about 2 or 3 questions, man, because I gotta wrap it up because these boys they gotta do their school thing, and I can't get in the other room because they gotta go to work now. And so I had to be in this other room, and so yeah, I'm still open the opening.
Okay, I got you.
Hear me, but I told them I was be out by 2 hours. So yeah, yeah. Hey man, look, we'll take a couple questions from the crowd. Hey y'all, drop some questions in the chat for Faise. If you want to show him some love, we dropped the Cash App in the links. Also, if y'all want to get those books, he still got those books. If they want to get those books, all you would do is send them any amount of donation to the Cash App, Play for Change, and then leave in that little description where you say why you sending the money. Leave for the books, right? And then he'll get them sent over to you.
Yeah. You can send whatever you want to send. For those who want the books, you can send whatever you want to send to Play for Change Cash App, PlayForChange, Play for Change, FORCHANGE. Send a donation or a free will offering, and also send your email. And 16 books that I wrote, so you'll be able to get all of them. Also, even if you have the books, something that I would like everybody to do, because we're close enough to it to be able to do it, is send in funds for the Cooking with Kaya music video. I did a letter to Cooking with Kaya, and she was able to repost that. That was pretty big. And we got some big things that can be moved with that. If y'all can just hear what I'm saying, see what I'm doing. Send funds in to support that. So we've already raised 2,000. The thing is to raise 3,000 more. And we want to do this before February 1st. All right. That main reason is because a major part of February is going to be focused in on the F Black History song. And that's pretty big right now, especially. So we want to make sure we're able to run with that. So we want to get that music video done on a level that we haven't done any music video. Because most of the music videos I've done, I had somebody shoot it and I edited them myself, which actually lessened some of the quality, all kind of stuff. We want to take it to a bigger level now. And I was told to do this, by the way. I was told, take that money and get a better video. So if we're able to do this, okay, or when we do this, that will happen. There will be a better video. And the Cooking with Kaya song is available now if y'all want to go listen to it. So I would like everybody who sees this to take some time to consider that I'm doing something very big right now, okay, with that music video. And I'm not talking about just shooting the video and posting it on YouTube. There's something else lined up with that that's going to be a very big moment on the internet. You understand that? Without putting all the cards on the table. And that's what a part of the funds will be going toward, if y'all can hear me. So I really would, we got 2,000. We need another 3,000. If everybody can come together just to help make that move, I would really be grateful for that. And if you want to get the books with it, then you send in your email with whatever you send. So I'm asking everybody to get involved on that, so we can go ahead and get that done.
Do you have a Zelle account? Do you have a Zelle?
Zelle? Yeah, I do have. I do have Zelle. What you have to do is you get in touch with, so I can make sure that the message gets to me. Get in touch with. Write this down or take note of it. A2.AASIYA. A2.AASIYA. Okay, you message them. That's my wife, Asia. You do that, I'll make sure that the message gets to me, and I'll be able to give you the Zelle. All right, and you can also still send your email with that. Those of y'all who send it in, if you already got the books, then you can go ahead, and this is something that we can do together. You send the funds in for that video. If you want the books, make sure you put your email with it, and we'll make sure we get all the videos. The books are different books, like Who Knows the Secrets, Masonry book, How to Speak Elite, Illuminati Sciences, Alchemy Sciences, all kind of stuff in that book. How to Love Again, rehab book for rehabilitation. A lot of people need that. There's different types of books that I've written. Hidden and Scroll, Relax book, all kind of stuff. Who is the Computer, or Is the Computer God? How did he die? A lot of books. So if you're into what I've been teaching and if you want to further your knowledge from all this spiritual stuff and really start taking it to the scientific level, all right, my books will help you do that. All right. You will also be able to get a better understanding of who I am, what I'm doing. It'll make more sense. So, hey, thank you, y'all.
Okay, thank you. And also, if you want to check out Phase One music, we got that in the links in the descriptions. You can go check out all of his new music. He got several CDs out. Also, his Instagram is in the link in the descriptions, and his Facebook and TikTok. If you want to go check that out, he's got over 315,000 followers on Instagram.
We just hit 328.
Oh, damn! You went up that fast? Like
I'm saying, but that one of my videos went viral. I hadn't even shared it. Somebody shared it, I guess, and so many people, thousands of people that shared it.
No, that was like a couple days ago.
Yeah, about 20,000 in a week, I think.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. I had just checked it with 314.
That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, we getting there. I'm saying we're doing it, and I keep showing up, telling y'all, listen, ain't none of that gonna go to my head. We can hit 1 million tomorrow. We're doing what the artists that y'all been looking for. The artist is gonna really be for the people and not be like faking it. Like, I'm actually here, bro. Like, this is what it is, and can't nobody fuck with them. Listen, they can't fuck with me on the teaching side. I will drill these niggas. They can't fuck with me on the music side. Song for song, bar for bar, they can't fuck with it. And with the intention and the purpose behind it, we have the victor. It's already there. The victory is here. So y'all supporting the right one. I'm telling you that. It ain't nothing. It is not no game. I've been doing this since before the internet was exposed to me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Right. Everybody get up out of here, but
yeah.
Like the 20th time somebody asked that question about me, why did I join the military? Well, when I was a kid, I used to be gang banging. So they gave me an opportunity. They say, you can go to jail and do these 15 years, or you can go to the military. And we'll let you, if you go to the military, we'll let you go to the military. So that's how I got out of going to the thing about going to the military. So that's why I went to the military. But the military changed my life because it made me see things different, and it made me more militant, and it took the fear off me where I wasn't scared of really shit, getting shot at and nothing like that. Although I was getting shot at already. I got shot and stabbed already before I went to the military. But it took a lot of fear off of me. But that's the reason why I went, though, because it's like you're gonna go to jail for these crimes, or you can go to the military. Being that I was a certain age, they gave me the opportunity. If you go to the military, boom, you could get out of this, not having to go do 15 years in prison for drugs and things of that nature, selling drugs. That's mainly what we was doing, selling crack, But that's why I went to the military. It was my mom talked me into it. Yeah.
I think that would have. I mean, I wouldn't have had to say so. I think it was better than going to that institution.
Yeah. It was either there to go to jail. So I was like, oh man, well, I'll try my luck at the military. At least I get to get some good food. Maybe I get to meet some more people, get some girls. And I won't be in jail. I heard all the stories about jail, and then my homeboys, they always in jail, and I talk to them. I hear all the stories. So based on the stories that my granddaddy gave me about the military, he always gave me good stories. So I was like, the military versus jail, it sounds like I'm taking the military. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Yeah. So that's what the 10th person that asked that.
You had to learn, and then you learn the sciences of how to be a part of a troop.
Yeah, and I know how to do flanks. I know military tactics. It's like it was really part of my schooling to part of this. What we're doing now is I learned a lot of stuff in there about psychological warfare, just pretty much Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How to shoot real good. Like, I'm a good shooter. Like I got a 40 out of 40 Hawkeye in my shooting, because I've been shooting since I was a kid, because my granddaddy was a shooter too. Like he was a guy, military guy. So and he was a cop too. So that was part of it. And my granddaddy was a pastor. Because at first, like, my granddaddy was an all-around type of guy. So he had he was a bail bondsman. He was a pastor of his own church. When he started, before he started being a pastor, and went to he had a club. He sold his club and started being a preacher. Yeah, so it's like it's a lot of stuff I can tell you about my life. But that's the reason why I went to the military. We was banging. We was hoovering against the Crips. We was shooting at folks. We were robbing folks. We was breaking in people's house. I mean, everything that the badass kids was doing, the gang banging kids was doing, we was doing. We was getting into it with people. We was going to jail, but it was like for little stuff we get out. But then when the big shit caught up to us, burglary is 5 to 99 in Louisiana, so you could do 5 to 15, 20 years. My cousin got 10 years from it. My other cousin got 14 years. So they didn't want to go to the military. They want to go to jail. So we give you 14 years. My brother got 14. And some of them got years after that fact. But my brother, he just got out. You know what I'm saying? And he only did like, I think, actually they gave him 9 years, and he only did like almost 5 years, and then he just got out. And that was, it's mostly for drugs. That's what we was into. They're trying to hustle and make extra money. And like the drug thing was my thing. I almost got busted like 3 times in about 3 months of trying to sell drugs. Like every week I almost got busted by the cops. And then I just look the last time I tried to sell drugs. Look, okay, so this is before I left to go to the military. And like one day my cousin had gave me some shit to sell, and I walked out on this land where my cousin house was. There was another house way in the back. My other cousin, his name Spunk, he lived back there. And so I had the shit in my pocket. I walked out the house, right, and I was gonna walk up to my cousin Spunk house, and something came to me in my head. It said, "Take that shit out of your pocket and put it into this gas tank." It was like this old broke down truck out there that my cousin used to have, like a Ford. So it said, "Take out your pocket before you go up there to the Spunk house and put that in that gas tank." So I took it out. I put it in the gas tank, and then I started walking in Punk yard. Man, look, I swear to God, Faise, as soon as I put that shit in that gas tank and I took off walking in his yard, a van pulled up. And the van was full of white folks. And I said, damn, I know Spunk ain't finna sell to these white folks. Because it was like that, like then we had a code, don't sell to no white folks. But it was the niggas that were turning us in, though. Anyway, we found out. But hey, we had a code, don't sell to white folks. But all these white folks coming in the yard. And then before I could say, damn, Spunk finna sell to these white folks, man, they hopped out on them. Get the fuck down. Yeah, it was the sheriffs, and the police. And they really came looking just for my cousin Spunk, because Spunk had sold to an undercover officer that day. And they just came back to pick him up. But they searched everybody that was there. And there was only another person, my other cousin, he had some shit on him. They took him to jail. Now, if I would have had that shit on me, they would have searched me and I would have got took to jail. But the Lord told me don't take it off, right? So the Lord, every time I was about to get busted, the Lord would get me out till I got the picture. Hey, man, this ain't your shit. You ain't no driller, man. You ain't got the heart to deal. You gotta have. I gave all of my drugs out on credit first year. Cause look, they come to me with a sad story. Oh man, I ain't got no money, and man, I'm this and that. They give you a sad story. I got a soft heart, so I would just give it to them. And my cousin's like, man, you ain't gonna never make no money giving your shit out on credit. You always giving your shit. You ain't gonna never make no money. And so that went on for a while of me giving all the dope out, never getting paid back. And then finally I said, you know what, I'm gonna toughen up, not do this. And then I try to toughen up, boom, get busted. Or get robbed. I got robbed one time. And one time after I had gave all my shit out and my cousin put me back on, and then he said it was a dude pull up. He said, man, go serve that dude. So I went to go serve the dude, and then he said, give me a 20. And he asked for a 20. I put all the shit in my hand, and it held it in his window, say pick you one. And then when he looked at my hand, he hit my hand, boom, and drove off. Yep. I got robbed. So it's like every time I tried to do it, either I got robbed or I got something happened to where, hey, it was telling me this ain't your game, man. Like my cousin, them, they can do it. They got a hard heart. They can say, no, I ain't finna give you. They can be mean. They can be tough. I can't be like that.
I know what you mean. Yeah. You got a soul.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have a heart, man. To be a drug dealer, you got to be almost cold. You got to have a cold type heart that makes some money in that game, because you can't be nice. You can't really show no love. Like, you can show love, but you can't really expect it back. In that game, and it's not for everybody. Especially if you're a child of God, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Some people that can do that shit, they real. But that's to sum it up. That's why I went to the military, because that's all I knew around me was gang banging and doing that, and then that was my way out. That was a way to change my surroundings where I won't get smoked, because we got shot. I done got shot. I could have died actually. You know the dude. You know that dude. My cousin busted one out of a dude's car with a brick there of another girl that he was messing with, but he was from another set. He was from rolling 60s. He came back to our neighborhood and shot our neighborhood up. But he chased us with the gun, right? And look at this. This is how I know I'm supposed to be here. All right, so I had got shot, but I didn't know I was shot. And then so he was right up on us. So I just laid down, hit a corner, and laid down and rolled under some bushes and was tucked under the bushes like this, right? Look, Faze, the dude walked right by me and he was saying, what them niggas at? Saying that he got the AK in his hand. Chopper, he had a chopper. It's like a 223, they call it a chopper down there. He's saying, what them niggas at? What them niggas at? He looked dead at me in the bush. I looked eye to eye with this nigga, Faze. He could have turned and sprayed me right there and killed me. He said, what them niggas at? What them niggas at? He looked at me and then just turned around like he didn't see me. But I was already shot in the leg. You know what I'm saying? I can show you my where I got shot at in the leg. It's a big ass, long ass scar about this long, and you can see where the bullet went in it. Right? But that's another thing. That dude could have killed me right there. He looked at me after I already shot. He started shooting in the alley. Boom, boom, boom. We was standing out there smoking weed in the alley. He passed by, started shooting. Boom, 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 boom. And then he went parked his car, got out, and came down the alley. You know what I'm saying?
So you think he didn't really want to kill nobody or what?
Man, I don't know. But this dude known for being on powder and shit like that. He known for being thrown off. And the next week, look, I guess I don't know if it's something the spirit took over where he didn't want to shoot me. He looked me eye to eye in that bush, laying in the bush, and he didn't kill me. And then I don't know what it was, but the next week, I swear to God, Faze, this dude went and killed like 6 niggas. The next week, he killed like 6 dudes from the blood neighborhood, and then got into a shootout with the police. That same dude, yeah. So I don't know, man. He killed 6 dudes the next week, huh?
I see.
Then he drove by. He drove by. They was all standing in the yard barbecuing and shit. He come by there shooting. Blum, 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 blum. Then he shot. Then when I was out there picking up their people, he made a U-turn, came back and started shooting while they was out there. Yeah, out the people. Yeah. Then the police kind of caught up with him. He went on a high-speed chase with them, and they caught him and got him. And he got life in prison. But that same dude, and then look, the time before he shot at us in that alley, another one of my homeboys was walking down the street, and he pulled up on him and hopped over the top of the car like this, getting ready to shoot him. And I don't know what stopped him from shooting JR that day, because JR like, he ain't gonna shoot me on. Because JR, he really didn't bang, really. He hung out with us, but he didn't bang. But he could have had JR right there. Like he could really, and this dude right here, he known for gunplay because he be on that powder, right? And so yeah, man, that was the type of life that. And then my homeboy had just got killed, man. It was a lot, man. And I was like, I need to get out of this situation. I need to get out of this world. This. Because I'm either ending up going to jail like all my homeboys did, or get smoked. I'm telling you, man, it's easy to get smoked. I got 2 homeboys that got smoked. Yeah, in this gang banging shit.
It seems like we be right in the war. I think that's a part of this. Like we be right in the war zone.
Yeah, long
enough for you. We obviously get out of it. I think we in there long enough to see this ain't for you. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Don't stay around this. I'm not gonna go too much into it. But I had that same type of realization when I started realizing everybody around us was dying, except the main niggas who was like into it.
Yeah,
like, too many innocent niggas dying, and then I'm one of the last ones who don't really got their hands in it like that. So like, I got out. I got away from the shit. So I think that you still gotta have war mentality, a warrior mentality, a warrior way about yourself, so you ain't out here just moving soft, you know what I'm saying, like and green as they call it, which really, I mean, it's interesting they use that color. But I really am grateful for the experiences because I wouldn't want to be out of touch with what's moving just because I grew up in the household. We had to get outside, we had to see certain shit, and we had it was some fucked up shit that we went through and what we seen. I still think that it had something to do with, like, that was your testing moment to see, like you say, with what you were doing. Like, okay, this ain't your heart ain't in this. You don't got that type of heart anyway. What led you to right knowledge, you know, and then you become a stronger soldier for right knowledge than the ones who they probably ain't had. That's why I'm trying to tell everybody we got to reach the niggas who's in the streets. we got to reach everybody, because the ones everybody trying to close out like they don't get it, they might wind up being our strongest soldiers and pushing the message harder because they got a real story to tell. Not that they just grew up in the suburb, everything was good, and then they picked up a book. You feel me? So go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something else. Another thing too that made me stop selling the crack, man, is when I went. The last thing I seen is when I went downtown to the bottoms, and I saw people living in houses that smoke crack. This is what crack do, man. They had no door on their front of their house, no running water in their house, no electricity in their house. They had piles of clothes, just where they were taking dumps on the clothes, and they were sleeping on the floor. It's freezing cold. Like crack it's really the devil. It's like worse than, if something can be worse than the devil, then it would be crack. Crack is like a nuclear type bomb, man, that really did. If you could see really like what I seen what crack do, man, it like if you selling that, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
That really just, like, you see people living in boxes and shit because they smoke crack, and they, and to see all of the houses down in that neighborhood, all no electricity because everybody smoke crack. And then, it's just really a sad energy. It's really a negative. It's really no good energy when I seen it. And then there was this one dude, he used to have these girls get them naked, and they smoke crack, and they get in a little swimming pool, and he film them. Man, it's like this, the shit that I done seen. I can make a movie, and that shit creep you out, and it'd be, I'm telling you, like the shit that I done seen as far as this world, how they like rental rocks. People don't even know what that is, a rental rock. We used to get rental rocks and drive them like go-karts. You know what I'm saying? And we used to run from the police, and it's just like, it was a thrill, kind of, I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes it was a thrill when you didn't get caught. You know what I'm saying? When you didn't get caught. Yeah. But then it was like, I don't want to have to do this though. I don't want to have to run from the bees, worry about the police getting me. I want to be comfortable. And it was like that type of thing. But like you say, we went through that so that we wouldn't. So it prepared us for when we come into this community. We ain't no punks, so
we ain't going for it.
Yeah, we ain't no punks because, like, I didn't see I didn't saw the niggas that I didn't went against niggas that said they were gorillas, pit bulls, lions, tigers, and bears. I didn't see all kind of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Lions, tigers, and bears. So you ain't gonna scare me, man, because I didn't see so many types of niggas. You know what I'm saying? I seen niggas that said they were gorillas, silverback gorillas. Seen niggas said they were, you know what I'm saying? Niggas said they were alligator. I done seen all type of spirits, so it's like, I ain't scared really no more. That fear of being intimidated, that ain't gonna happen for me, man. Like, so coming into this community, you got some people out here, like, it just, like, on this show, since we've been on, there's been a whole bunch of people in the comments, and they wonder why they can't comment now. It's because we booted your ass. Yeah, we kicked you right in the crack of your ass, right off into the space. That's why you can't comment now. Because you just up in here and you want to be a classroom clown. See, we know about them. You come in and be a class clown, and we just booted your ass. about 7 or 8 of y'all just came in here talking shit, and as soon as we seen you, we boxed you. You can't come in no more. So that's why you can't come in, sucker. We about to get up out of here, man. We running late. But we love y'all all. We love you, Faise, man.
Love you
back with another one. Let me know when you want to do the next one. We'll be back.
You already know.
This is great. We rolling them up. We staying busy, man, and we gonna keep it going, man. Free Dr. Malachi Z. York.
Free Dr. Malachi.
You know what I'm saying? And before we get out here, all my prayer warriors that's in here, that's my real prayer warriors and my real message meditators and senders. Send a prayer for Malachi, man, that he's in good health and good mind and sound mind. And if anybody that's giving him a hard time, and now send the angels on him right now to get him, to make him leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? So all my prayer warriors, send that positive energy to Dr. Malachi Z. York right now. Just imagine him sitting in the cell in Colorado and send positive love, send that green light, that purple light, that blue light energy, that rainbow energy towards him as a protection for all my prayer warriors that's in here tonight. And we're going to leave it on that, man. You got anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Faise?
Amun.
Hey, man. Hey, peace and love. We send divine love throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.
Wadu. Wadu Sasha.
Wadu.